announcement from the Fed, and then we'll get the statement along with it, the accompanying statement. We'll check the language, see how things are looking as far as that is concerned. But then the next major hurdle is going to be 230. That will definitely move the market as well. I mean, maybe we can do just a quick look here at where we're at as far as the overall market is concerned. Still in positive territory for all three U.S. markets right now, holding some pretty impressive gains, it's worth mentioning, heading into the Fed. 0.8 there for the S&P, 0.56, 1.6 for the NASDAQ. So that said, it's worth noting bottom end here where, yeah, back to basically lows on the day, 9%, 6% for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Not good for cryptocurrencies heading into this. As I was mentioning, I jumped on the midday show there to talk about Citron. They were tweeting up a storm about cryptocurrencies, not talking very nicely about it. So seemed to cause a bit of a move back to the downside. Let's bring in the guys here and get going on this because we'll cover a few things. We'll get some ideas. We'll talk about what is to be expected. Hilariously, Sky News, which is the major news channel over in the UK, tweeted and then immediately deleted a tweet saying the U.S. raised 0.75, the largest rate in however many years it was. So was that a leak, or were they
it was a leak.
Were they preparing a tweet and then accidentally hit that send button?
I mean, it's 99.5% certain here. This is not like, Pratt accidentally dyeing his hair blonde again or anything like that. But yeah, welcome, guys. 8 minutes, Neil. 8 minutes until we see the fate. First of all, Meta has been going off there on that TikTok, like Reels, Instagram Reels versus TikTok. But we can just talk about Fed rate. I mean, honestly, I said yesterday that, we had a swing trade long, just rewind the clock 22 hours or 24 hours when we were on the air yesterday. And I said you could probably have a swing trade long into today. People wanted to know why I thought 50 points was not as good as 75 for the market. Well, now today you get a 100% chance, 99.5% chance rate hike of 75 points, and the market, virtually 100, and the market comes in today with a 1.65% move up. So I like it. I think it's going to be fine. The problem with trading the Fed, as many of us know, and Neil and I will explain this to you as it's happening, is very whippy in the first couple minutes because you'll get some algos and some trading houses that will think that's a bearish sign, some will think it's a bullish sign, and vice versa, back and forth, push, pull. But it's really the wording that's going to come through at 2:30 from Mr. Jerome Powell, who will be answering questions. And it's more about the direction of the questions, the direction of the rate hikes moving forward. Where are we going? What are they looking at? What can we sort of rest our head on here to be able to sleep well at night? I think the only surprise could be, Neil, not 50, but 1. I look for that as the key headline, and then we'll react from there.
Yeah, like the whole, 50 would be them ignoring what's going on with inflation or just the biggest fake out ever. But I mean, the Sky News thing, let's be real. When something's expected, it's kind of like when you print T-shirts that say both champions winning. You just get something ready. I'm not reading too much into that. We know it's 99 point whatever percent. I think all we can do is anticipate the move. It's a different circumstance that we're in leading into this number than last time, because last time we definitely had made a bit of a tighter range bottom. If you look at what it actually, my daily chart doesn't more work in the cube, but it was a much tighter range bottom. We've fallen further into this number, and the levels are not. When we look at the V-shaped move that typically happens, where you get that wipeout back and forth as everyone digests it, a lot of times you have obvious price ranges where, okay, it might run to here, then pull back, and then bounce. Upside on the Qs, there isn't anything obvious until it gets extreme. And then to the downside, it's the same thing. You're going $10 in either direction. So I'm not sure there's as easy of a trade on the overall futures where you're leaning into, okay, well, for the first few minutes, you can just kind of scalp off this level or that. I think you got to try that if you're doing it in individual names. I was going to say Meta.
I just got out of Apple.
But Meta, I thought Meta was going to find support, but then Meta just took out the high of the day, which is not where I expected it to be. I scalped it off this. I thought it would just come back, retest those lows, and then something with a tighter range, you could play top to bottom because the futures don't have obvious levels if we get that whipsaw action. But just keep in mind, if we do get 100, and that's a gigantic if, obviously that is going to be a rather large shock to the market. You better, if you are in position, you're going to want to have stops out there because if there is that kind of a surprise,
man.
it's not going to be worth it to get run over. I'm going to sit on my hands and have no
canceling all my
positions
stops.
going in, because that's the way I always do it. I never want to be in position going to this. You want to be reacting to the news. You don't want to be sitting there getting run over. But if you have a position, your stop's going to get run, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have one unless your risk tolerance allows for it. I mean, to each their own.
I mean, I just took our own advice there and got out, and now it's costing me 20 cents. But we had Apple there at the bottom of the day. We just traded that just right there. Well, not bottom of the day, but basically, yeah. Right there, we just took Apple long, and I was tweeting it out, or putting it out, not tweeting it out, putting it out in the chat there during Prad's show. We got out of, right here. 20, 20, 20, 20 in the last one, and then right back to highs. Darn. Out of that Apple trade right there at 134. Hey, it's 50 cents, but I think I did the right move. I didn't do the right move profitability-wise, but I'm happy with the decision again. Holding something into a rate announcement, especially when it's so bullish already today, like up 2%. So what did the Fed need to say for this? We're getting some questions here, like, what do they need to say to make this market go up? I actually, I'd like to see some indication of where we're going from here. Like, what kind of number is Powell looking at as far as the CPI read, or is there something with the U.S. dollar? Is there unemployment's not a problem, but are they? Because they're not supposed to look at the market, right? So I don't expect him to comment on the direction of the stock market, but it's just we know the easing has started. We know that the rate hikes are here, and I don't think they're going to pivot or anything today. So it's just more about maybe some clarity on what the July rate hike looks like. What are they looking at for that? Because if this comes out 0.75, the market's already priced it in. You're already up 2%. So I think after that, we just wait. You calm down. You wait for that first move to happen. Then you wait for that second move. And I think it's like the third move where you want this. So I don't know. I try to be.
Or the 230 move.
And that was my next point, was that, and then you wait for 230. I mean, at 230 is when Powell starts answering the questions, right? Yeah. So you're going to get guys like us, guys from CNBC, Rick Santelli, stuff like that want to know stock market related questions,
Like if you do 75, are we looking at 75, 75 and then backing off, right? Like, and then sort of going down lower. Like, is there a change to the target for the end of the year?
Right.
Because to be perfectly honest, you can say neutral all you want. That I don't even understand the term neutral when inflation's at 8 and your target for the end of the year is 3.5. Like, what are we so basically, like, what are you saying if 3.5 is your target and inflation's twice that right now? Like, it's some clarity on that. Like, at what point you'd need to see a bit of a slowdown, or what you'd actually have to see out of inflation, which you're not going to get a raw number there, but you might get some kind of an indication. But this market is, we're rallying into this number.
I mean, this is what I expected this.
We're rallying. I think last time we definitely had, I think, a different upper band that we rallied into, which I felt like was a little bit more predictable. This time, I think if we get through it, there's a bit of air in front, so you might get some leakage. It would be so much easier if we tanked initially when we got as expected, and then you'd be looking for support levels. Because if we break the high as the first move, sort of that scalp trade might not be in play.
Yeah, rolling records. Look, Apple failed at the top. No. We're not looking at charts. Like, to say Apple failed there, go short. No. The market is going to decide where all of these stocks go, besides Meta maybe. Every stock here is going to react, like JP Morgan, the banks, everything's going to react to this number, man. Disney, it doesn't matter what you're looking at. Twitter, Tesla, they're all going to go. I think it's crazy right now to say I'm going to sit here and take that short. You could get the short and it's cash money, but I guarantee you it's not cash money because of Apple. It's because the market started to tank down, right? So I don't want to put on positions right now thinking that we're going to go one way or the other. I want to hear that number when Brendan has it in 30 seconds. And then, if it's a banger, I should still be long. If it's a banger
it's
there.
So frustrating.
It's so frustrating, but that's okay. Normally I would be long off that bottom, but you can see.
That is 170.
Look at the volume. Everything's starting to pick up right now. Let's get ready to rock and roll, Brendo. We only now do have 10 seconds until we see what's going on. The NASDAQ up 1.95%. As I said it would be today, that we'd have a long swing day. So let's go. Here we go. We are getting 75, Yaz. We're just going to see it right now. Let's go. Here it is. It's 2 o'clock. Let's see what this market wants to do. Apple, again, not doing anything. anything. I'm going to assume when I hear Brendan in my ear, we'll take it. Market downside, big downside move right now. I don't see anything. When we get it, we'll get it to you. But right now, a downside move. Brendan, if you have it, he's waiting. We don't have anything yet, so we're waiting on that. Now it's up. You see that?
Oh, they gave you...
Move back to the upside right there. Goes the market. So bang, bang. Apple down to 134, now back up to 134.60. The market rocking and rolling right now. Apple taking out highs. That's why you do not short this damn market. That's what we're talking about. I said this move was happening, and there it is, a nice little move to the upside. Don't get too excited. Anything could happen, but there it is, a nice move for the market.
Brendo.
Boom.
As expected, guys, 0.75 to the upside. The Fed sees PCE inflation at 5.2%. By the end of the year. That's up from 4.3%, so an increase on core inflation by the end of the year. The main headline right now, as expected, 0.75 increase on rates.
Right.
So they gave the as expected, and the move that I think
Look
was
at that
maybe in
wick
play
top.
was the first move down.
That.
It did give you that pullback into right into support on the Qs. It was 280. I tried grabbing it. That was the only trade I saw out there, was trying to catch the dip into the previous support, but it was too fast. It was entirely too fast. The spread opened up by huge. Like 280 isn't even holding right now, or barely is holding on the NASDAQ. I think if we can clear through this, maybe get another quick little bounce. There could be a scalp trade off in this area on those Qs, but that was a huge, huge wick top. You had one shot at that long, and that was to get it. Like, you almost had to be sitting in front of 280, just grab it, get out when it broke the high, and then there's your whipsaw action. If we come back to 278, that makes sense. If you're looking for something relatively strong, Meta was the strongest name out there. It's still through the highs. I might prefer this as a long play on any bounce. Brendo.
Another key note here, guys. They've revised their GDP growth expectations down for the remainder of the year. 1.7 now versus previous 2.8. So they're expecting the economy also to grow less than prior.
Okay, I don't mind that news, to be honest with you. Obviously, when this is the thing. Ever heard of kitchen sinking? When the expectations are lower, it's easier to hit them. So that could be. Maybe it's the bull in me thinking that. But right now, we are long the triple Qs here. Long 24.33 right there. Bang. First part out right there. So we go long on this market right now. Again, wick bottom, wick top. That's what we said, man. I said one move, two moves. I'm in the third one. So let's see if we get some long action here. Just going to play off that wick bottom, man. If they want to take this out here, back down through 23.90 or so, then Bob's your uncle on that, and we'll get out. But for right now, I'm long into this. I want to get longer, and then any sort of news that comes through, we'll watch that. Fed signals faster pace of rate increases. I just saw that on the news wire as well. So faster pace of rate increases. So that means to me, I'm going to say 75 in July, if that's what they're going to say.
75 in July.
Right now. That's probably at 100. What up, Rendo?
Okay, so I'll give you a breakdown here. 3.4 they're now expecting by the end of this year. 3.8 then at the end of next year versus prior 2.8, 2024 3.4 versus prior 2.8. So yeah, faster increases still to come.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, I said I would go over to Meta, and it just had to do with the fact that it was a lot stronger than, Meta was breaking the highs before that even happened. So the previous top was right here about 168.5. You had a nice consolidation before the number came out at 168. So I just did a scalp trade up to this 169 area. Going to see if I can't hold on to it and if we can get another break higher. However, let's keep in mind, we are now starting to reverse and retest some of these lows. I don't want to get stubborn. We want to just essentially try to keep things tight to the vest, at least until 2:30. We are 5 minutes in. There's been a bit of a mixed result. I think the as expected, good for the market. Some signs that if you're going to tell us that it is 75, there are going to be some that are going to sell that news. I like Meta. Meta had some news, by the way. It spiked up. I think, Sean, you did say this, right? Meta had a bit of a story we dropped in the midday show regarding their TikTok and the algorithm, so it had bounced off VWAP pretty heavily. So let's see if it can find any support there. But this market is starting to come off. Not sure I can hold the rest of this. If it goes to VWAP, I think that's a much better entry price. I have to get out at 67, guys. I don't want to give up too much.
Yeah, the market's coming back in.
Look how slow these messages are, by the way.
Yeah, I know. So 2350 here, whatever that bottom is in the triple Qs. Remember, this is a 3 times levered, so we got out apart, so we got out of that, and then we're just back in twice. I don't mind averaging in again, but honestly, you know, you can only average in so much. My out's going to be 2348, so we'll take one more bid down here, like in the 70s if we can. This is violent, boy. I actually never traded the triple Qs, or sorry, the TQQQ, the triple levered ETF, into a number like this. So new experience for me, but we're out 20 cents right now. I think holding cash might be a good idea. We were up there when we ran up to here. We were up. Remember, I was like, oh, this is what we called for, and that was 2.5–3% upside. So it has given some back here, downside right now. So look, it's over. That's it. That's Fed. So end of the show, right? And that's kind of what we're talking about. It's kind of expected.
Well, hold on.
And then we wait for 230 now.
We did the wick top thing last time. Let's just keep that in mind, right?
Yeah,
so this is not actually yet abnormal. The difference is it just had a wider. Rune said this morning. I think we've said it a few times. There's a wider range, I think, than we were usually expecting. So what happens when there's a wider range is we still haven't even on this pullback. We haven't challenged the morning lows yet until just now, and that's what was tricky about it, because you had this tight level to 280, but really that wasn't the bottom. That couple of dollars. Instead, there was a couple of dollars lower. That's why I couldn't hold on to Meta at this point. But if you bounce off the morning lows, that can be a scalp trade. But you're only scalping till 230. In my opinion, because what happens is if you go to the well one too many times, then once Powell's talking, this happened to me. I was scalping, and then the last trade happened to be a short, and then that last trade, then I never got the reversal, unfortunately. So you end up missing out. So I think at this point, let's see if we can settle off these lows of the day. Red to green, sorry, green to red on the Qs is about $2 away.
We're tanking
from here. We are now tanking, obviously, but we haven't broken through those lows just yet. That's your bounce spot, because we've already chewed through that 280 on the Qs.
You know what I was going to say? Like, I'm in this long right now, but the thing is, it doesn't make any sense because the market's nothing's going to change this. The number's out right now, right? This market's falling until Powell comes on. Like, it's stupid. Why didn't I think about that? So we'll just get taken out here. If it breaks through 50, we'll take a 50-cent hit on this one. But, like, the market knows the number now, and it's falling. So I don't see any change in this direction until we hit key levels. You just got out?
No, I just typed FB.
Oh, he typed FB. Until we see key levels hit and supported, which might be that 3,800 or something on the S&P. I mean, things are changing right now. S&P right now, 3,700, so we're way off that. And the Qs is nowhere near anything here at 11,400. So there's the bounce back up, right? So, like, I really feel like right now there is almost no reason to be in anything until we find key levels, right? So I'm going to just zoom back out a little bit here on the TQQs and go to Brendan right here.
A couple of the things we were mentioning throughout the day, guys. Actually, a bit of a muted reaction here for the 10-year. We did go higher initially, but only up to 3.45, coming off a little bit. But overall, kind of muted for the 10-year. The U.S. dollar, on the other hand, plummeting right now. Big move down for USD.
Right. Yeah, and a move up, obviously, a UVXY here, volatility making a bit of a bounce in through. It took out not the high of the day, but it took out the recent high from this morning very briefly in a bit of a wick top. So I always kind of look at this. I do have some upper bound levels. This were to get really extreme, 1725 to 1750, which isn't even, I'm looking up at my 15-minute, so it's not even on the page here. It would have to get pretty extreme before I'd even think about fading volatility here. But obviously the market did catch a bounce off the low of the day. And this is the problem. Like, I was sitting here saying, like, here's me pulling back, saying this is your bottom. But just like the 280 bounce, unless you were sitting in front of the freight train, there was simply no grabbing this unless you were sitting in front of the bid. Once it had bounced off that level and you wanted that close price so you can get the dollar scalp, forget about it. Like, the spread just opened up like crazy. I got some sticky quotes here every now and then, but the spread when you hit a big level, like the offer stops following it down and you go to try to hit it, you're just not getting anything. So that's what's happening on the Qs, which are very liquid. I can only imagine what some of these other equities are looking like. And for those, I know people are looking at some of these small caps, AERC or whatnot. I promise you, we're not trying to ignore those, but the market move is what matters. I'm going to kick myself because that was your only trade was off the low of the day just now, just like the opening move was off that 280. I didn't capture either one.
All right, let's go. Let's face slap a little bit here. We are long. We just took a piece out right there because we averaged into this. And again, like, you know what? Me and Neil were talking about it, about what pulls us out. of this move, what brings us down pulls us out, and vice versa. Neil had some Brendan and Neil talked about what led us in normally doesn't lead us out. You know what I was thinking when he just mentioned the 10-year? I mean, that might be the best indicator there. For that to come back in a little bit, that's probably what leads us out of all of this. Actually, not a sector specific for a stock, but what about treasuries? I mean, I think
the bond market's been a
the bond market's
ridiculous ride.
That needs to settle down. I think that if that. Oh man, if that can settle down, then we'll get going again. We'll look. I wish I had a 10-year here. Is there a 10-year? What is the stock? I mean, I know you can trade TLT and stuff like that, but there are different things that we can look at there. That's the Barclays 20-year, the TLT. So we could definitely watch that. Let's see what that's doing right now. The TLT here. I know that's a popular instrument here at Day Trade the World for many traders as well. So yeah, there it is, up to 110, back down to 109, and kind of just chilling out here in the middle. So there's that big move in the Treasury 20-year upside there when that number came out, then a fade back down. So maybe we need to see this start to go a little bit as well for this market to get going.
No, 100%. Like, look, realistically, there are several things that you can trade. Just watch out for, like, when you're actually actively trading, like TLT or some of those Treasury. Like, just understand it's a lot of quote stuffing. So you want to have your levels. You don't want to be focusing too much on the level 2 when you trade them. I'm sort of sitting here back at Meta, and this is going back and forth is just stupid. We're actually starting to come back in here off of that low of the day, and when you look at what's going on with the Qs,
let's go, baby.
I think you're scalp mode until 230. And that means that 280 level that came in where we've initially bounced off 280, it's hard to see because everything happened in 30 seconds. I think that could be your short-term quick resistance. So low of the day, 280, and high of the day. There's 3 places to look at. I know everyone's saying, I get it, ARC's making moves. I had one short off 20, it's muted success, and then we got blown out. 25, 26, monster levels on ARC. It just found support at that $20 price. Watch out for 25, 26. That's as much as I'll say about that until it actually gets to 25.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows I would want to know what this symbol is on eSignal for that 10-year, because I mean I know I can find it here like on CNBC and actually watch it, but I want to like have an actual. I know a TNX didn't work, but anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll get that after. I mean, money flow indicator, things like that. There's definitely a lot to look at. All right, so we just went as high. I thought we were getting going there.
Dude, Bitcoin's at 20.
Bitcoin's at 20 right now? Okay, we could check out GBTC right now. Oops, GBTC. Slow down, breathe. Okay, 13, 18 right now. Bitcoin, and Ethereum. So right here's Bitcoin on the chart. Nice little move. Downside for and look, Bitcoin had no idea what it was doing either when that number came out. So Bitcoin, a nice move up to 21.4. It's 20,200. So we're still... you still got 1% to go to get down here, but that's not too far away at this point, 20,000 flat. So Bitcoin trying to bounce as this market's trying to bounce as well. So we talked about this with Frank Caberna from the small exchange, and that was that there is a tie, Bitcoin with the NASDAQ, right? And so a little bit of decoupling needs to happen there. It doesn't look like it is doing that right now.
It's here's just a risk asset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just another asset class, right? At this point, I feel like anyways, Bitcoin. Down here, 13.8, where we started for GBTC. Now you're down to 13.2 here. And a shout out to Jeff Mendel from OTC Markets who came through earlier on this week. So that's always nice to see him. But that's the market right now. We're only in the triple Qs here. So TQQ, more aggressive to the upside. And honestly, I might do nothing until I hear Powell. I'm already long this, so I think I'll just sit on my hands. I know that's not what we want to hear, but I'm going to look for other names. If there's a name that's moving upside or down, we'll take it. But honestly, it's the best thing to do right now is I'm just going to hold on to this position. I feel like it's a good one now because we've had the bottom come through. We'll trade TQQ, 140 million shares. We are long this name right now, a whopping 10 cents in the money. Like, I say that tongue-in-cheek because I have no idea where this thing's going. I expect it to go back at least to VWAP right here, 24.20. So that's where my out is sitting, 24.20.
Yeah, and look, realistically, we just saw Bitcoin move to the downside. I went right over to Square because that was probably the better of the two shorts for me off of that in Coinbase. I saw it below that floor at 62, took one shot at a curl, and I'm not going to fight it. If it wants to make a bigger bounce, then I'm going to wait around for the highs, like the 63.5 where we caught it before. Just going to be a little bit patient. So it's only going to be pot shots unless you get a monster level, which I feel like we did see there on the Qs. Just coming back over to UVXY. because I feel like this will be a day that I'm going to be interested in trading UVXY just a little bit here. I do sort of have. Oh, I love when my lines look really good in like hindsight. It's a kick in the junk because I didn't trade UVXY today. But obviously you had a bit of a spike up. We're actually starting to come back down. If we do get a pull back into that 15 quarter level, that has been a pretty good area where you get some springboard action where I might want to take a shot at it. But just keep in mind, if whatever the direction that we break away from at 230, at that time you do not want to be fighting the trend. Right? Like that's one of those situations where counter trend trading or just trading off of the edges is probably not what you want to be doing anymore. You can get away with that and take your shots when he's not on the podium because we're going to be able to get those snapshot moves. But once we're past 230, you got to be thinking about overall direction. And if you're not with the trend, it's just better to be sitting it out. So I'm going to go back to looking at some Square Meta. I think if I take any longs in any big cap names, Meta is definitely going to be one of them. I still feel like that's one of the stronger ones. But UVXY is certainly on my radar. If it gets any significant drop, I do like that curl at 1525. Just running out of time for that to actually happen here.
Oh, yeah, because there it is, man. The market back upside. There's our out. Went right to 20, as we said, right there on the TQQs. Let's get aggressive. Come on. Uncle Powell's coming to save the day right now. He's only 14 minutes, man, till we see what he has to say. He's going to talk the market. He's not going to talk the market up, but I believe he's going to be pretty confident in what he says. So let's just wait to see. We have our stops. We have our outs right now, executing quite well. We are positive here. I mean, if you've just traded this exactly the same way, again, you don't get to see exactly the share sizes, but we are in the money right now, and we are positive on this trade. So the TQQ right now, very successful for myself. We'll just, I might as well get another piece out. I have enough shares I could just offer and get these out. My next out's going to be in the 30s as we come back up here. And this is exactly, like, I try to pride myself on being able to teach and explain things. And so, I said today that we'd have the first move up, then the second move down, and then the third move I wanted. So, there's the first move, there's the second move all the way down. We got the back-to-back wicks, almost in back-to-back candles. We made day high and then day low, and then there's me in the move. So, trying to do as we preach, and there we go. A nice little move back up to us. Give me those 43s. Come on, dog. If you could do that, that would be fantastic. Right now, 50-cent winner for the TQQs. And trust me, I'm excited. When you're making that money and you're throwing it down, you go like this, bang, and it's like a carnival every single day. But I get to have fun with you, with Neil, with Brendan, with all of our family right now. So it's been a big, big day for me. Big, happy trading. And I hope you guys are having success as well. I'm just glad that the market's up right now. It's been a rough ride for a lot of people in a lot of different markets. So for me, it's good to hear that all this stuff is starting to make a little bit of a move back. But we're not out of the woods. We're not even close. We're not even at days high.
It's worth remembering. Yeah. We're not back at days high on the Qs just yet. So we're kind of in the middle of the range. And it's like you had that chance off the low of the day, pretty much. I think now UVXY is starting to come into target zone as we're getting back up toward those highs. And remember, don't go too much counter trend. You've got 10 minutes for us to maybe break out of this top here. But I'm interested in seeing what you got here next, Brendo, because it's not this time. I want to see what's going on with the odds for next session.
Yeah, let's take a look ahead here, why don't we? Because things are moving around in real time, almost like the overall market. Let's go out to July and have a look now. 82.7 on the 75 basis point hike for July. This, remember, was almost 90 at the start of the day. If you go to September, this is the biggest change here now. These two have swapped essentially, so now possibly 54.5% for 75% or 75 basis points also coming in September. Futures, guys, interest rates futures pricing in 140 between the two. So not quite 75, but 140 basis points between the two, July and September.
Perfect.
That's basically what it is. Yeah.
This is exactly what we said yesterday. I tried to talk about ripping the Band-Aid off. Brad was like, slower rip is better. It's not. If they can get this going a little bit faster, I said this yesterday, rewind the tape, man. We got asked these questions this morning. We got asked them about 10 minutes earlier. And I said the same thing. What are we looking for? And I answered it. I hope I did a good job of that. And I said, what we're looking for is direction, is speed. What are they going to, what's their target rate are they looking at? How fast are they going to get there? And I think all these questions are going to be answered by Sir Jerome very, very soon in 10 minutes. But on that note, I did want to do one quick here for this move, right? The TQQ is a beautiful move up. I got you, Fahad. A nice move to the upside right there. But we are out of 70% now of this trade. Too many, we got out a lot right into here. I still think we take this high side out and we go from there. But if you have a second, as the market slows down, there's only 10 minutes left, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. We're here every single day. We came on early for you by popular demand. Like 7,000 watching, that might be, guys.
It is a record.
That might be a record. So let's go like this, whatever that is. Little spicy show for you today. Hit that, guys. Hit that like button. Let's see that ramped up. Let's get to 2,000 before Jerome comes on board, man. Thank you so much for watching. It's a record turnout. I hope you guys are liking it. Thank you for all the love in the chat saying that I got balls and all that stuff to take the TQQ. Look, man, sometimes you got to be confident. I like the long. And on that note, Neil, I'm ready to punch the long 169 on Meta.
So Meta double top, trying to take out the high. The other strong one from this morning, so go back to what was strong, right? Like relatively strong. Amazon was relatively strong all day long. Got out of that in front of the Fed as well. But Meta has a top, double top on Amazon and around this 107 level. So I like this to view up. I also like this for the break. If we're going to get an upside move, I'm going to add Amazon to the list, kind of just remembering what was super strong this morning and going right back towards it, guys. I saw some guys in the chat. Thank you very much for pointing this out. Beyond Meat also making some power moves and has a pretty good breakout setup. Everything is going to have a pretty good breakout setup. If you look at the whipsaw action, what ends up happening is you create double and triple tops with moves like this because it's a liquidity vacuum to each of these levels. So it's not, the less liquid a stock is, and the less likely it is to care as much about the futures, you're going to see it get to these levels and probably put a reversal in. For the market, it was the bottoms. For this, it's VWAP and then it's high of the day. So triple tops, double tops everywhere. I'm much more concerned with find something relatively strong if you like the long, know what you want to jump into if it has to be to the short side. I think the only thing I even like taking pot shots short is Square. And that's because we had some good levels on it this morning. Everything else, it's just Amazon and Meta for me. We should probably take a quick look at Alibaba as well. But I kind of feel I almost want to stay away from some of the Chinese names. And you know what? Guess what? Don't look, Sean. What level did Alibaba bounce off on the Fed?
You looked. 105.
105.
I didn't look. Yeah. I mean, 105. I don't need to look. I need to look one spot.
Everything goes right to its level, right? Like 105, monster level. It was 103 to 105 in the morning yesterday. That's where we closed out. It was 105 this morning. So you're going to get those same support levels usually going in. That is the thing about a liquidity vacuum. The algos are not, like it's not rocket science usually where they turn, the market making engine or whatever the heck you want to call it back on. Usually it's at obvious support. So that's what you anticipate, but you got to be really quick about it. I'm not looking gift horses in the mouth when you're the other direction. I'm just going to take the scalp trades that we can get on Square. If that's what I wanted to risk the first time through, I should at least be willing to take some of it out in that range. You're getting a bit of a pullback. We have 7 minutes to go until we actually get Powell. And lingering at the highs would be the ideal situation. Like for the longs, what you want to do is be consolidating higher and then getting a shot at a breakout. Like I don't want to see Meta. Actually, I don't want to see it back at VWAP. Even if I think that's a good entry, I want to see it hold 67.5, 68, and then take out the high. I want to see Amazon hold 160, 106, sorry. I don't want it going to 105 because then you get a tighter consolidation and it's a better place to rip from. Here, you're actually giving shorts, like the Square one right now. You're giving a chance for them to be able to get out here, and that's just going to lead to not as good of a long, obviously.
Shout out to everybody watching, man. I mean, thank you so much. I don't know. I mean, I get like goosebumps when stuff we're doing is working, quite frankly. And I mean, I love the fact that you guys are supporting us on this channel, giving us a chance to educate you, entertain you, and just thank you so much for that. Record viewers, like I'm getting. I like it. I'm happy with that. So
Fed every day, baby.
Yeah, let's do it every day. Yeah, Fed every day. Yeah, Fed every day. Maybe not on that one, but
maybe we don't.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The thing about Fed is, and this is the thing about trading, and I'm just going to kill some time here before we go, just about some strategies and stuff. And this is the thing about Fed, right? Is that it kind of screws up. Rolling records was like my short would have worked. Yeah, but you would have had to get blown out first, and then the short came back. So that's part of what I'm a little bit nervous about sometimes when you have the Fed. Right? It's just like right now. now. Like, I'm getting ready to reload this TQQ print, right? Like, we just got, I said I'm out. Like, I only have 30% left. Could be a loser, who knows? But nice trade there, and I'm gonna reload it now. But like, why did it just drop there? You know, it's like, this is part of the reason why we love Fed, and part of the reason why it's so hard to trade is that it's just gonna move around until somebody at some shop that has billions of dollars to trade picks a direction, right? And hit certain key levels. Yeah, go back over to it. I mean, you still got to respect levels, though.
The wick top that we got on the Qs, like we just went right back. It's hard to see, but this is on my 15-minute. You have a second wick right back to the previous high. So you get a wick top breakout, and then that last pullback came right up to the previous high on a dime. And then we turned. And then the second we got that, I went back to the stock that I like for the short side, which was Square. In, out, forget about it. If I liked 62 before, I darn sure like it 63 to 62 to make that trade and get out of it. But that's the kind of thing that you got to be watching. Like, watch out for those key levels. If we can chew through that high post Powell, then you're off to the races, man. That's essentially what I was getting at by not wanting us to pull back too far, right? Like, we wicked back up, couldn't reclaim the high. You still have a wick off top there. Yes, we found support at the low of the day. So right now, I still think you can be on the bullish side of the train because we haven't broken any lows. Look, regardless of what you think about it, if you don't break the low, there's only one place to go. Said from a guy who likes to short. So we don't break the low, realistically, there's going to be long trades. That's just always true.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Can't say that.
So there you go. Yeah, let's go. All right, so we did not get that reload on TQQ. I was actually waiting at 70, right where I got it before. So we missed that little bit of a reload. We now have 3 minutes until Fed Chair Powell comes out right now. Look at Coinbase. This was a bad trade for me earlier. This is the only losing trade I have on all day right now. It's this one right here, out of Coinbase. It wasn't that bad because the short came in, and now Coinbase kind of in the middle. So let's pass on that one. Our Alibaba today was monstrous. Right down here, boom, boom, nicely done. That was 104.70 there. Our best out, 106.30. Bought these dips in Baba early. Did not respect it enough, going up to 107. And just because you guys, we have record viewers, and I think it's important that anybody that's not paying attention to the sticky note here, come on. If this ever loads up, I'll be able to show it to you quickly here. This is it right here. Baba, 105 long. Coin, short with the stop. I mean, we appreciated all that. Mike, all strong off yesterday's support bottoms. All of these would have come in today. Meta, amazing. Apple, Microsoft, AMD. We don't have too many calls today. It's actually a pretty light sticky note because of Fed Day. We'll be back at that bad boy tomorrow for you. But there it is, man. We tried to buy the dip on the TQs. Didn't work. Check back in on Meta. Now Meta's down. Okay, so I got to change my...
I tried...
You like the short there, but I kind of...
No, not Meta. I like the short and Square, man. I already got in and out of that one. Yeah. I'm groaning at Amazon, actually, because Amazon on VWAP just gave you like 105.50 or so. The problem with this, if we're going to say to you guys, wait around, okay, make your scalp trades, sort of do what you got to do, and then 230 is going to come on, well... I mean, getting into a trade like 2 minutes before, do you have a chance to get that quick scalp trade? I'm not sure you do. And the last thing I want to see is get wicked out on something right before we actually pick a direction. Because the last time we had the Fed number, when we rallied to the upside, trust me when I tell you, and this is going to seem counterintuitive, on something like an Amazon, it was easier to have had the 107 break, and I'm just sort of pushing this trade on the last one. These weren't the actual prices, but it was easier to have the breakout through the top at this point than it was to try to pick the bottom as he was talking. Because the whipsaw action's giving you the lows, but really it got crazy, but it was very clear once we were able to hold through the high of the day to just go with that direction, because we have 90 minutes to be able to trade. And if we do trend for 90 minutes, it's not going to matter a heck of a lot where you got in, so long as you took a position that you were able to hold on to. Right, like that's actually more important. Only get into something where you have a defined in or out, or if you want to play the trend, it's a size or price that you feel like you can hold on to. That's what's more concerning for me with only a minute to go till he takes the podium. Of course, it's a Q&A, so it's not as if at 2:30 fireworks just go off.
The thing is, we're going to turn the stream off at 2:30 because we only have 1.6K likes just playing around. But thank you so much for that. Tripled the likes there on that last cut. If you haven't done it, let's see if we can get to 2 before that does happen. I still like Meta to break that level there at 169. The problem is, I'm going to be sitting down here at 166 just in case this does come out and something happens here with Fed Chair Powell. I do want to be able to buy some of these bottoms, so 166, like 20 or so. We'll put a few shares down there, and if we have to average into it, we'll do that. Back down in here to 164. Let's just see if it does take down these 166 areas. Maybe now that I look at that, maybe that's a little bit too hasty. Let's go 166, like almost. Let's go 166 flat. See if we can get that. 166 flat down here in case this comes out. We like Meta here. Some new news coming from them. All about. There we go. 1.8K. Thank you so much, guys, for that one. Let's just go like this. Ball in there for tonight, man. It is tonight, right? Isn't it? Yeah, I think you think Golden State. I kind of think that Boston has one more win in them at home. But here we go. Let's go, Powell. Powell's going to take the stand coming up soon. And when that happens, we go right over to Brendo. What up, Brendo?
All right, I am staring, guys, at a empty podium right now. But as soon as he does start speaking, I'll let you know what is to come. Couple of interesting notes before we get to this. It's the largest single rate hike since 1994. In the U.S. Also, they're looking at slower growth, obviously, as we mentioned, higher unemployment. But they also said they're planning on cutting interest rates as soon as 2024. I know that seems like a long time from now, but they're already planning on cuts as well.
Yes, sir. Let's cut that rate. Let's cut that rate ASAP. I'll take 2024, though. That's fine. But that's what
that's good. They expect to be reversing.
That's right. I mean, that's what the Fed's supposed to do. They're supposed to say stuff like that. Okay. All right. Well, market be falling down here, and I don't know why. So we'll sit here. We'll try to take another long right now. He is at the podium.
Well, I'm pretty sure we did last time. We did initially dip when he hit the podium. And then you had to sort of like settle in a little bit, right?
Yeah,
like that's why I just made the mistake of getting into Amazon. I'm like, I don't need this, man. I said I'd wait. Let's just actually wait.
Punched into
and this
more.
looks like it's starting to break to the downside as well. But if I like buying the dip, let's wait for an actual dip, and then we actually get something out of Fed Chair Powell. We're gonna have Brendo with us, so anything we get, we'll try. Even like if we have to cut and paste in the chat or do whatever we got to do to make sure you see what he's actually saying here in real time. But again, you hold on to it. Like we are getting that dip and pull back down. Meta to 166, Amazon now back to 105. I do want to check back in on BABA if we get close to that 105. Not to mix these two names up, but BABA and Amazon are similarly priced. I like both of them in these price ranges, but those are the three I like to watch here. If it's south side, I'll probably go back to square though.
All right, south side is the best side, so is the west side. But here you come right now, 23.77. We just loaded up there at 23.70. We took it a little bit earlier on these TQs. We're going to give it just to this bottom here, 23.50. Didn't snap last time, could do it now. Again, I don't know. He's on the podium right now reading a prepared speech, I'm going to say. So it doesn't look like that's going to be any good right there. We just got into Meta right there at 166. We could scalp out 50 cents or so on that. We'll do it quickly and then be able to hold the rest. But, to be long Meta here and long the market, that's both not going to work. So we'll wait here. We will get out, like I just said, of these TQQs if it does break a little bit lower. Again, right there. There it is right here. Through 55, sorry. If that happens, we're gone through 23.50. There it is. It's a triple levered ETF, so that's going to snap out pretty quickly here. So, all right. That didn't work. Our last little try there didn't work. We got out of 70%. We talked about that. Then we just lose another 20 pennies there on the bottom side of that. So, yeah, not good. That short came in. Here it comes. Is Powell saving the market? Apparently not right now.
Huge spike on Uvxy as we were taking.
Yeah. So I don't know if they like that 2024 note there, Brendan, or what, but activity in housing, he just said right now, activity in housing sector appears to be softening.
That's not news.
We talked, I know it's not news, but that's when people...
I'm yelling at Powell.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, but I'm saying, same thing. But I feel like that's not news, is right, because we talked about that earlier, mortgage rates, this and that. Like once people start feeling the pain of these increased interest rates, you're going to have a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But here we go. I'm going to try it long again.
So, I mean, the one that came in, I'm just looking back at Amazon for a split second there. The one that came in ended up being Alibaba here. So that came to the 105.
Go. You can do it.
Yeah, I mean, Meta didn't really get down to the bottom.
Go.
Amazon got to 104.5. So Baba did get right down into 105. Caught a little bit of a bounce there. A little bit too far away from quarters, if I have to be honest with you. But I'll take some out in front of VWAP if I get a chance. Remember, these are prepared statements. Then you start answering questions.
Yeah.
And it was during the Q&A when you actually picked a bit of a direction. So we're still in that scalp range in the markets, I would have to say. And then once we get past that, that's when you start picking a direction. And right now, if you had to sort of throw a dart at it and say which direction have we picked, well, for now we've rejected the high and made a double bottom. And we have a wick off top, and that's Alibaba. But if I look at the Qs, it's not as if it's going to be any different. You got a wick high. You've actually broken the bottom there. So if anything, you do still have a kind of a downward trend.
Come on, Jerome.
Still think he can rally us a little bit until we break these lows. I'm not really concerned as long as we're holding some of our support levels like Bob is doing it. But at some point, you might have to give it up.
Yeah, let's go JP right now. Nice little rally back here. We're 50 cents in the money on Facebook, where we just took a piece out on the TQQs. We got back into the long. You might have heard me say, slip that in there right before we threw to Neil. I was like, I'm getting back long, so we'll try that. We'll get another piece out here for 50 cents if we can on Meta. But yeah, this is very, very violent, some of these names. Ooh, Meta didn't go there. It went to 166.80. Oh man, we were at 167, trying to be a little greedy there, take that dollar. We didn't get it, so we'll wait on that one. Then the TQQs, we actually got a good print there. There's my other long. We went long at 50, the same spot we got out at. So we've got a 54, and we got a 75. So we made back that 20 cents, but we didn't get out of it all. So we didn't make back our day there on TQQ. But let's see if it can get going here. We're trying to make some bottoms. Here's the real NASDAQ, just the NASDAQ minis, the NQs there. A nice bottom of 11,390. That wick, I like seeing wick bottoms like that when I'm long. So that could be something down there at 1,371. Let's just wait to see, man. I mean, I'm long. Here we go, man. Meta trying to go. Let's go, Meta. We're sitting in the 40s again. Now, hopefully that can go. And then TQQ's both going as well. So we're long. I got some good positions. I like these ones. I'm going to cancel my Meta long 169. I mean, I still think, obviously I think we could get there. I wouldn't be in this position. But there you go, another 50-cent winner there on Meta. Next out, $1 at 167. Let's up that. Let's up that a bit. Let's get a little greedy here. Why not? We're here to trade. We're here to make a little bit of money. 160. Let's go right to the 50 period. 167.20. Brendan.
Just quickly, guys, I have Powell in my ear here, but what a better time, or no better time, to talk about a buyout right now. Coal's just spiking on New York Post article that just came out regarding this article. Just on Powell, he hasn't said anything that we haven't heard before yet, so I'll keep you posted.
All right.
But the only thing I got to say about Coles is board accept deal. I don't know I'm not even sure what that story is. I just know that they need to take the $60 and run. That's what they got to do here. Here comes Alibaba back in through VWAP. Look, if we get this, remember what I said about breakouts being there? I don't mind taking it out in front of the high because I still feel like if we pick direction long, you're always going to be able to get a chance at a breakout. So you bought the dip. It didn't get down to where I wanted in Amazon, but Baba did come down, test 105. It's worth keeping in mind we still have larger spreads than normal. So for those of you, like if you're trading in this right now, understand that when you get some of these wicks, it's not as if it's really trading down to these prices. So yes, Baba went down to 105, but it didn't really go down to 105. Right? Like it's just liquidity down there is non-existent. The liquidity was at 25 to 40. That's where the liquidity was down there. So you're immediately risking about 30 to 40 pennies, even if you think you were being a little bit tighter than more frugal than that. Because we're just not getting anything. I would love to see something.
Baby.
That actually is substance out of Jerome Powell, but this long is now churning. I'm going to take it. There we go. Going to take Alibaba, quick $1.50. It's going to be scalp trades until it's not.
Shit. Right now, bang it up. Facebook is $2. $2 in the money on Facebook right now. $2 in the money. Look what's happening to TQQ. $1 in the money. Oops. We did it again live on the air for you. Every single trade there. TQQ. See ya to the upside. We get taken out. We say that's a nice story. We get back in. Lose 20 cents, make $1. I'll take it every time. There goes Meta. Look at Meta. Fly, young man, fly. Look at that trade. 166 to the upside. How about 169er? There's that price that we just talked about. We are on one today. The market, Brendan. Neil said we want Fed every day. Now I agree. Let's go, Brendo.
You just said, as expected, guys, for the next meeting, either a 50 basis points increase or a 75 basis point increase. So confirming what everyone thought.
Exactly, and that's why we're looking for those support levels. If it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. That's the reality. And it's also, we had exactly the same pattern as last time. That's why we went over the playbook for what happened. I haven't mentioned Tesla once, but Tesla as strong as Amazon, as strong as Meta, bouncing off you up. This didn't even test the lows of the day, so I can go over the winners that we already had, or I can talk to you about 700 looming on Tesla. So watch out for that 700 level. I think you got your support put in at 680. The breakout isn't quite there yet on some of these names. I just checked Amazon to see if it was taking out the top. Almost, not there yet though. Amazon almost took out that top. Now that we look like we're trying to break those highs in the NASDAQ, you have the chance that if we pick upside here, you got breaks on Amazon high of the day in about 30 cents. You've got Meta 170, you've got Tesla 700. And if I go back to Alibaba, which I just covered, already pulling back a little bit. So it didn't get through the high, already pulling back. I think at this point, you got to be thinking about VWAP or better to get in the longs. I'm not sure we actually see those lows again. So you might have to scrub BABA 105. You might have to scrub 165 Meta. You might have to scrub Amazon below 105 and start thinking about getting the longs at higher prices. That whipsaw might just be done.
All right. Wow. I don't know. Not much to say here. Thank you again. I was reading the chat, man. You're welcome, Alex. I mean, right there, just made your month. There we go. Boom on that, man. You're welcome. Very, very happy with some of these trades that we've just gone through. So what's up to Alex there? Thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, look, it means everything to me that you guys are able to watch the trades, understand sort of my logic behind some of these things. And honestly, it's just, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I was very, very humbled by all of you joining in and watching. And oh my God, we are infinitely above our daily goal. Thank you so much for watching right now. What a great day. Congratulations, Alex. Congratulations to everybody. You guys want the money, money, money
My
again.
quote isn't even working.
Let's just run the money, money, money one more time here. This is exactly, and by the way, I need to get my kid here right now because what I talked about with Baxter was literally exactly what happened. I said to you guys earlier, this is exactly what was gonna happen. Move down, then bang to the upside. I told Baxter's like, I wanna get money in. I'm like, just put money in now. Get in, put your money in. This is going to be a big moment to the upside. There it is, man. We're only $5 in the money on Meta right now, but there it is, a nice little move to the upside. Oh, and how about TQQs as well? Look at this beast go, man. This is 8%. I mean, no wonder I'm making months over here. Like this just moved up basically 7% there since I took this. So that's like a monster. 7%, you know, that's like catching that $100 move in Tesla. Not that much because Tesla's been down, but there it is right there. Look at the TQQs still blowing. Look at the NASDAQ blowing 3% higher. Now we $5 in the money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And there it is, man. Spin the money. We're having a great day here. I hope you guys are. This is just going. Sean can retire now. Hey, I could have retired yesterday, but guys, I'm here for you. So let's just keep that talk on the down low and let's just keep on going, man. Boom this, Amazon, everything. Good trade, Neil. Oh my God, everybody in the chat.
My quote's broken.
Getting hyped.
My quotes are broken. Amazon broke the high of the day, and like the best way to explain it was the bid stopped working. Well, the bid actually worked, but my stop order is still hanging there because I'll actually take the long on the break anywhere I can catch it. Well, look, we picked the upside, so you want to be taking any sort of breakout price you can get. Even the dips might be okay. I'm going to go back to Bob in a quick second, but Brendan has a little bit more for us, I believe.
Anywhere, guys, he's talking about the CPI number on Friday right now and actually said they expected to see more of a flattening out in that number last week. And as a result, that was when they shifted from 50 basis points to 75. But a little bit surprising he would actually say they were expecting to see more of a flattening out.
But I think their actions told you that they were surprised. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. The fact that they just days before said 50, and then all of a sudden you're going to the 75. So, I mean, that tells me that they were surprised. I think we understand that they were surprised by that. So, not a terrible surprise. Sorry, just I did finally get the Amazon breakout, but it's not really the break. On the chart, it's going to look like the break, but trust me, like it did get through that price. My stop fired. I just left the bid in as my stop fired and said, okay, well, if we come back down, as long as nothing crazy is happening in the futures, I'll dip in. But if it's the second time through, rule of thumb, if I'm catching the trade, not on the breakout, but on the pullback into that little consolidation, I'm always going to scalp 1-to-1 to the previous high, right? The previous high, 107.40. We ended up getting 80s, 108.20. Like that is it's just a rule that I put in there. I wanted to get Bob on a break as well, just to see if we can continue with this trend, because we have an hour to go. Over an hour to go. So if we're going to trend to the upside, just based on what happened last time, the gap fill on the NASDAQ, that was the other thing that we're sort of talking about, was the nature of the gap fill on the NASDAQ, if you got through that high, was significant. I showed you on the Qs, it was significant, about $10. But on the NASDAQ, it's up to about 11.9. And that's what we're saying, that the breakout trade has a lot of room to be able to go. So you got that dip, Qs to the bottom, and now that you've taken out the top, you got to think about where you can go next. So I'm looking at that 119 on the NASDAQ, and as long as we're trending toward that price, you can start playing back into some of these longs.
Hydration Nation is in the building right now. So we are just in cruise control right now. Uncle Jerome, what's up? He's on the podium. Let's just relax. We'll see what he's doing. We are now $5.50 in the money on what was a pretty easy trade for me. That meta trade never even went against us. TQQs, by the way, TQQ, how does this chart look? I just talked about it being up 8%. How about 10%? Straight to the upside right here on this, right? So some beautiful moves happening right now in the market. And honestly, I don't have much to say. I mean, it's not that I'm speechless. It's just this is what I'm doing. This is part of trading, right? I mean, when you have a position on and it's rocking like this, can the NASDAQ get to 4 or 5%? Of course it can. It was just red. I mean, now you're up 3.5%. I don't know if we were red, but we were pretty darn close to red. 3.5% now and cruising to the upside. All these positions just motoring right now. Look at this Facebook. We were short, switch up our game, bang, to the upside. And not only that, remember I wanted 169 long? And I canceled that order. We're at 172 right now and still going higher. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day today. And honestly, I don't even want to trade out of this name. Sometimes you got to look for it, maybe 170.50, something like that. We could take a 172 top. This move might be over right now. Some nice exuberation to the upside. Now we're getting some seriousness here. Taking down 170. Let's watch 170.50. We take that, we're going to get out of Facebook. 170.50, but hey, wow, big time movement to the upside. 170.50 target on Facebook. And hey, oops, we'll take 450 if we have to.
Yeah, big move here. Obviously, crypto moved. Come on, load up, baby. Crypto moved as well. I just wanted to quickly show you. Ether did get up to 12.30 actually. Check that before a bit of a wick top here. So if you're watching coin, anything along those lines, you have serious wick tops. 22.5 on Bitcoin. My Ethereum chart actually just loaded faster. That's why I went to it. I thought 110 would be the top on Alibaba. It looks like it turned around at 108.60. I'm seeing Amazon start to get a bit of a turn. I think we got a good trend here, but I get a wick off top. I'm getting out and I'm getting back in. That's the way I want to go here, because I'm seeing the bid start to do that thing it was doing before, where it evaporates a little bit. Oh, that's going to code a sell. I don't care. We're going to take the quick out. If I do see a wick off top like we just did, it's right around that 119 or 1119 area or shy of that on the NASDAQ. I think we can just start to play pullbacks, dips, and pops. I wanted to get to one I missed, and thank you for pointing this one out in the chat. It was Daryl mentioning Shopify. This is also in that pocket. Anything that was super beat up today that made a hard bottom, not a bad look, right? And when I say hard bottom, the $300 bottom just the other day, that's exactly what you want to be looking for something for a breakout style trade, because there's just more room to extend, right? So Shopify, not a bad play. I think if you got out at 330, you definitely made the right call. But if this comes back and reasserts itself at 320, and we're still above that 11.6 in the NASDAQ, the breakout price, then anything that holds the high when the NASDAQ holds the high, you're going to want to put the reload on.
All right, guys, end of the trade right now. It's been dropped down. We just got out of Meta. So Meta takes down that 170.50. Unfortunately, that's what happened. We are out of that one. I did put an offer at 171.50 there, just in case we did get a little bit of a rip back to the upside. That trade has been completed, and maybe your trade of the day, which still to come, their Meta coming through there. We also have the TQQs possibly as the trade of the day as well, breaking back down through $25 right now. That's going to be my out. We gave up a little bit of upside, but hey, like I said, at some points, you take it out like we did, and then you leave a little bit for that ripper to the upside. So right now, nothing to worry about. Let's see what we're doing. And by the way, Kathy, I know it's very kind of you guys. All the love on the chat, a lot of thank yous, a lot of oh my gods, a lot of this, a lot of that. But honestly, I can only tell you what I'm doing. You guys are the ones hitting the keys out there. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I mean, that's honestly, yeah, more bangs? All right, you want more bangs? Here we go. We'll do a couple more there. And we'll just do an easy one. Bang there for you. Bring that in. Henry Z, what's up? For everybody in there. There it is. Let's just wait to see what's going to happen. I just saw Neil talk about it was a flush the week before.
Someone asked, why are we going up? Look, the last time we had the hike, I wish I could, my 15-minute chart isn't loading, so I'm going to have to describe to you what happened on the 5th. You had a push, you basically went to the top end of the range, it was a great rally, and then the next 5 days in a row we flushed. So it was like a sell the news type of event, and then the trend actually went the other way. Now the difference here is you actually have seen them come back and start showing that they're serious about combating inflation. So if you wanted to make the bull case, it would be that for the first time, it actually looks like they're serious about correcting what is a long-term issue for the economy, not necessarily the markets, they don't care about that, but for the economy. But this is still what happened last time. You did get a bit of a rally. It is not terribly different from Neo dumping this morning because they had rallied into the event of them releasing the SUV, and then it flushed. And then it found a bottom, and then it continued to go up on the good news. But the initial move sometimes is just the opposite direction because it's like sell the news. Brendo?
Just on that, he's being questioned right now on, basically the question was, where does he see rates, where do they need to get in order to get this under control? And that 3.8 to 4 kind of area is what they're targeting by the end of next year, which would be, in his terms, real rates finally, or closer to a normalized rate. But I mean, honestly, guys, one of the most neutral Fed Chair Powell speeches I've listened to.
So he didn't say anything about neutral rates, though. I guess he's keeping that language out of it because no one understands what that means anymore. That's what I think. So and here's the thing, obviously a lot of other times, I'll tell you what I was doing differently last time. I'll put up Alibaba. Last time what I was doing differently on this stock was I was actually looking for shorts when you got to these highs. This time I'm really just thinking about where can I get back in for some long trades, right? Instead, it's scalped along on Alibaba. I didn't take the break on Bob. I took the break on Amazon. That's splitting hairs, I suppose. But rather than try and find the place to go short, cover long and then look for the next long trade, which I think can be back at about this 106, 108, maybe 107 area. I get it. That ARC did make another move again. I just don't feel like it was. I don't know, it's not that interesting, that stock. If it gets to 25, 26, like I said, I think we'll definitely get over to it. If you're watching that Shopify, I think 320 is a pretty interesting level if it comes back in. But now you're starting to see that whipsaw and flush action back. I'm jumping to BABA because I think it might have a clear levels for consolidation, whether it's here that we can start to check off or down at 106. I almost don't care. I just want to see a consolidation briefly at almost any price if we're going to get back in on the dip. But that's the reason why I said I'm jumping out of Amazon, and then you saw that bit of a flush. But I didn't want to reverse short. Not in this market. That's what got me into trouble last time. I don't care if it works once. It's about what works over the long haul.
I think this is pretty, it's funny because my wife has no idea what I was about to say here, but here it is. We've been, just as a little project, monarch butterflies. You know, they have the caterpillars on the milkweed. We found a couple eggs. We've been housing this one. And there it is. It's into its chrysalis. It's hanging. It's going to turn into a beautiful monarch butterfly. I just wish she turned this around because that's a J. So for Jerome Powell right there. So shout out to all the monarch lovers out there. It's pretty popular in our household right now. And my daughter named it Lemon for some reason because I believe we had a lemon on the table. And that's what she went with there. So the bear, we've already turned this into a bull. But look at this out. That's BABA. Neil will be coming with that trade of the day very soon. Looks like that's scoring the highest. Kind of find that Hard to believe, but I guess it is. Look at that out right there on Meta. So we'll go bang for the out right there. A 170.50 right there. We're back down to 169. So we save ourselves $1.50 on that out right there. And sometimes the last outs, this is what I'm noticing with my trades, and I have to do a little bit better on this, is that sometimes it's just, that should be a short. Like, if that's where I believe it's being exhausted to the downside, I should probably flip that over to a short. Oh, and with that being said too, there's the out on the TQQ to the downside here as we go. So we're gonna have to watch out what's happening here with the TQQs, but we are out of that trade now, and we're just gonna try to find another one. So hopefully that can come in. What's your out price on TQQ, Flameboy asking me? I'm out, so it was 25. If you're asking that, I talked about that. And then that's the other thing too. Like, I really pride myself on just giving you the goods. Like, I told you I was going long 166 down here, right? We put that in. I don't even know if it went against me or not. It might have gone against me 50 cents there. But then boom, right back up to the upside. Then I said 170.50 was my out. There's, I mean, the out I think is one, I got a good cross price, I guess, 170.43 or something. We take that out, and then that comes right back down. And now the number one stock on the desk today is Meta, so profit-wise. So there it comes. Beautiful move back in there for Meta. We started the day a little short there. We had a couple longs, then we reversed into the short on weakness. Then that TikTok-ish news came out. It started to go up to the upside. And the funny part about all of this is I like that 169 long. We should have just gone long right there again. What the heck am I even doing? 168.50 was a decent long spot right there for Meta. Because we missed it, maybe we can go over to Apple and see. We missed that bid too. Okay, whatever. Big day here. Happy, joy.
Still going to take it. We'll take it on Baba. I'm surprised it's not going to be TQQ. I mean, it is what it is, but we can definitely talk about.
Yeah.
It's really about the execution of the trade, so we'll definitely go over it. I mean, I just got back into it now, so I'm repeating myself. Crap. I just got back into Baba. We talked about getting any consolidation either off the previous high, which incidentally, this is right around where I was getting out on the way up, or simply getting it back in VWAP. I let it make the bottom, the same bottom it did on this. It's hard to see this pullback, but it did have one pullback on that break into 106.40. I got it bouncing back in at 60, takes them out at 1-to-1. Now at this point, that is a pretty sharp pullback. I'm thinking about the lower high more than anything else. So that's more like here, this 107.20. Oh. It feels like after that, we're in a little bit more of a scalp mode. This is not, at this point, it's not feeling as bullish as we were last time. That's about the best I can tell you about this market move. Like, yes, we're trying to catch a bit of a bid here, but this is not necessarily the way that reacted when Powell hit it last time. There wasn't this deep of a pullback in the market. So glad we got out of Amazon and then waited a bit on Alibaba. Brendan?
Yeah, market coming off, guys, as he's talking a little bit about, once again, they're questioning him on what he needs to see to not only slow down with the hikes, but also have a better feeling as to, the problem being under control. And that's multiple, he said multiple readings on inflation back not only more level, but to the downside. So not just one, but 2 or 3 to the downside.
Okay. Yeah, me and Neil just discussing what we want to do for the trade of the day. Okay, so I did want to reload Meta down here. So, and that's exactly right, Brendan. I mean, that's kind of the stuff that we wanted to hear from the beginning, right? What was going to be the indicator moving forward? I mean, what are they looking at? What are some of those indications for further rate hikes, further rate cuts, things like that? I like that 2024 talk. A few good things in that. So thanks, Brendan, for all of that. And again, guys, just trade your book, man. I mean, that's the most important thing. It's the risk that Neil puts on, the risk that I put on. We are individual traders here, right? So we confer back and forth. Like sometimes, I don't like to be long if Neil's short and vice versa, but that doesn't really mean that that's not a possibility that happen all the time. So that's just something. Trade what you see, not what we see, and that's the only way really to learn. But if you want to follow along, we're here for that, obviously, as well. So with that
I made one huge mistake.
Go ahead. What was that?
I did say, when I said I wasn't looking for any shorts, I did say there was one stock post-Fed that I was looking to short, and that was Square. I did have 2 shorts on Square. Of course, that's the stock that wick hides through the high of the day. Like it had to happen, man. Like that is a short. Like that's a short. Like you have to find something that you're comfortable with, that it was weak enough on the move and had a reason to show a relative weakness. Like never retested the high until the very end on that last little push. So it wasn't until the futures were breaking out several levels and then made a top that Square got to its high of the day. Everything else was through the high that it pulled back from. Square was like just only getting through and never even got like 20, 30 cents above and then immediately rejected.
Yeah,
that's a better short that you want to have on there. I'm out of Alibaba, quick inland out there. The market's still trying to claw back up. I should check back on Tesla a bit.
Guys, I mean, there it is again. Let's go. You want the bangs? Bang right there for another one for us on Meta. Right there, a quick 50 cents. We just got long 168.50, man. It's at 169er right now and a little bit higher. We'll see if we can get something out in the teens here. Boom, right there, another 60 cents. Put it on the board. Yes, so apes are running rampant right now in the market. Everybody buying everything, it seems like. So there it is, a nice little move back to the upside on a reload. So there it is, a nice little reload on Meta there. Boom to the upside. Yeah, like, wow. Again, this has been a great market to trade for us. And I just hope that you guys are also able to take a little bit of cash on some of these trades as well. If not, I mean, like I said, to each their own. I'm still thinking that you could get a short call coming through here anyways at some moments. That seemed like that. Definitely the way, I mean, forget about Meta, but even just the futures, the way that sort of took off there, I almost feel like it was panic buying almost.
It's not the same as last time.
I'm kind of with you on all this.
That's
right
it.
now,
The only comment I have to make. That's why I keep getting out of the longs. Like it's like I'm just taking the wins when they're there.
Yeah.
Because it's not as it doesn't feel like the same move that we had last time. That's why I'm kind of going back over to Square because I want to have something that I'm short. Last time I shorted maybe like 4 or 5 times on a firm. This time I shorted Square twice to just be a little bit more cautious with it. And then even then I didn't hold the short that far. But when I'm looking to if I'm looking to long something else off the bottom, like for me, I'd rather short something weak at a top and then get out of it here, look for longs on something else that I think is relatively strong on a double bottom instead of going long at Square. Now, granted, both those would have worked, but to me, that's why I pieced it out. That's why you saw me go into BABA for a portion of it and then take the short portion on Square and then jump to Amazon for the breakout. Effectively, it's all the same thing, and you could express it in one trade. I just prefer it in case I was against the grain or something got tripped up, I was in the right stock at the right level. That's what I prefer to do, as opposed to just only looking at one thing, because that's what tripped me up last time on a firm.
I don't even have, I mean, whatever, just this. Right now, $1.40 now. That's just went into the money. That went up to 170 there. So right now we are $1. I mean, the spread is wild on Facebook right now. So whether or not it's $1.40 in the money, $1 in the money, either way, a nice little move back to the upside here on Facebook. And we call not that we didn't call it. I mean, the writing's on the wall right here. That's why I like this business, man. I mean, you're a good trader, you're a bad trader, whatever. It's not going to lie to you right here. You can, make these plays, make these calls, but ultimately the stock has to move with you, right? And sometimes you get lucky. I consider some of these trades lucky. Some of them are good, man. I mean, this retraced right back to that 50 period. We miss it the first time, we get it the second time. Right back there to 170. I'm actually going to put an out. I'm going to put an out there. I mean, because I'm kind of like, it's not that I'm with. I mean, I'm with Neil on this for sure, because we talked about the fact that it does feel weaker, this move a little bit. But you're still up 2.5%. I don't really know how much weaker we feel right now. I was trying to get longer Meta when this went down there to 168, so I'd like to get a little more long in this name. But hey, again, hopefully this can, we just spit in the face of that 170. We probably should have took that. Next time we'll do that. We'll take that out if it comes up to 170. So here it comes screaming back down in. It's now power hour, man. As I look over my shoulder, Jerome Powell's still on the podium. And as he starts discussing it, obviously Brendan's over there listening. If there's anything key, we will come here, come to us. We'll have it for you. Brendan's all over that. So thank you to Brendan for that. And thank you to everybody for watching, quite frankly. Oil, I'd be interested to hear if he says anything about oil too, Brendan.
Yeah.
I know that's not his thing, but
it's weak today.
It just, like, look at that move. We went to 114. That's a flood. Oil's closed right now, by the way. Like,
but that's part of That's probably part of
Yeah,
why,
I mean,
right?
that was it. That was right at 230 right when it's coming in. So a big move to the downside. It has recovered a bit there. But oil flushing today, which
look
is
at
good.
GDX.
I only put in like $30 into my tank the other day. And I was like, haha, it doesn't really matter what I put in. But I was just thinking to myself, like, I'm trying to play that game, you know what I mean? And I was thinking that oil would probably make a little move down. So although tonight, shout out to the ICE, taking us out for dinner tonight, and I'll talk to him about that. So I'll be Ubering around, not in my car tonight, but that should be a good one. Hopefully I'm in a good enough condition to be here tomorrow morning. Psych, I will be. No, there's no way I'm not going to be here. I'm not staying out late. I'm going to be here. Maybe I'll stay out late, but I'll be here tomorrow morning.
In good condition.
And really ready to rock and roll. So shout out to ICE for taking us out.
Yeah, well, we say us, but I was planning on going, and then I mentioned to my daughter, she's like, I'm like, I can't go to the Strawberry Social, which came up after we were committed to doing this. And then she gave me that look before I'm reading her story. When we're done, she looked me in the eye, and she's like, Daddy, I wish you could come to my Strawberry Social. So I had to tell our host at ICE, I'm like, I can't make it because, I'm not saying no to my daughter. So I'll be in pretty good shape because I doubt they're serving anything that would give me trouble at a Strawberry Social. I was asked about Carvana, so I want to bring this one up. When you're trading post-Fed here, if it's a squeeze type name, and when I say squeeze type, I mean anything that has a ridiculously high short float, right? I think you want to be a little bit more concerned with, finding long trades as opposed to just thinking something's going to flush on you. But you can throw out some of what we're doing for the non-correlated names because there is no substance to it. This is why I'm not trading a Carvana. Like it's not respecting these levels before because its spread's going to be too big. The liquidity vacuum is going to be gigantic. So it's blowing through this by $1, the previous support, before coming back up. Sure, it holds it a couple times. And yes, it is trying to break out with the rest of the market here, but the manner in which it's going to trade is going to be so much more violently that I'd just be a little bit too concerned about being able to hold on to the trade. Baba, Meta, you're not really seeing us go out of pocket here. And I think that's part of the reason. All that said, it's up 19%. It is squeezing. It just only got above 25, so it does have a couple of wick tops. I went to try to pull up my daily chart. And I'm flipping by symbols, so it doesn't want to come up there. I try to show you some significant levels higher, but I think you're really just keyed on this 25 level. It's got a wick top through 25. If it doesn't break back through there, always watch out for a rug pull. If it's correlated to the market and the market goes up, it's going to go with it. If it's a squeeze type name, that's not a guarantee. If this cannot get it back above 25, you might see some profit takers. This was already up huge going into this. That's a monster difference between the names that we're trading here, where they were just sitting around and up a couple of percentage points and were in tight ranges so you could play off those ranges. That's something which had already made a huge run. So below 25, I'd be thinking about taking my profits. If it tries to break back out with the market, that's fine. But as I say that, this market is not getting back to the highs. So I'm kind of glad I've sat out these last couple of moves, waiting for something more significant. Like the last dip gave me a decent trade in Alibaba, but it has had zero follow through. So it kind of feels like it was the right decision to get out, at least for now. It's almost easier if we take out some of these highs and then continue to buy higher, for lack of a better word.
Buy higher, yeah. I'm just glad that right now there's so many dinners and everything that I missed. My boy's 10 years old, so a little bit older there than yours. So I'm not glad that you're feeling that, but I'm glad that you are because that's what it's all about. And
I love Mark. I
said the same thing to our boy there in Texas. I was like, look, all those dinners that I bailed on like 7, 8, 9 years ago, now I can go to them. Spend as much time with your family. I mean, that's
one day
what it's
she
all
won't
about.
sob up when I can't make it. That's what scares me.
Okay, there we go. What's up to Jacqueline? I don't know what's going on. If there's any spam in there, we have Bears versus Bulls. We'll handle that, Jacqueline. So don't worry.
He's all over
about that. He's all over that. And I want to give a big shout out to Bears versus Bulls Media. Thank you for everything that you're doing. But there goes Meta again, man. Back up to the upside. Here we go, Meta. Here we go. Let's see where we go, man. We're $1.14 in the money right now on this Meta trade. So hopefully we can continue to the upside. My target is at day's high, man. 171.20 right now on Meta. That's what we're going to talk about here. for right now. Looks like we're going to get ready, lined up for the trade of the day, so I will talk more about this coming up. But right now, Meta back up to 170. It's a 168 right there, baby. So that was a good trade back down here. Now we go a little higher now, up to 170 flat here for Meta. So let's see how high this one wants to fly. This market, I think, just continues to go up when Powell's done. So we'll see about that.
Well,
but
he's still taking questions.
He's still taking questions right now. So Jerome, still in the building.
Oh, that's right. I mean, it was when he was done. What am I talking about? Okay, that makes a little bit more sense why we're having some whipsaw action, because yeah, there was a spike when he talked, but then it wasn't until he was finished. We're just barely past 3 o'clock, right? Sometimes you lose track of time and it feels like more has happened than I think, but he's still going on in the Q&A, and we're only 8 minutes into power hour, so it does feel like we can still be a bit range bound and have plenty of time for that other leg to the upside, which I still believe if we take out the highs, sorry to go back over to the Qs, I drew a line that's for myself more than anything else to kind of have an idea of where I think we can stretch to, so that when I glance over, if I get into another long, I can just look over at my NASDAQ chart and have an idea where I think profits can be. And it's when we get halfway, but it's actually not at 11.9. It's a little bit closer to 11.875 or so, and we've got 200 points to there. So I kind of feel like if he hangs up the phone and we get this potential break through the high of the day, that we've got lots of room to run, right? And Square still gives me an opportunity off 64. It's the only stock I've gone short since the number. It's the only stock I think I'd feel remotely comfortable taking any kind of a sell side trade. But we haven't had anything that's been, I want to say, groundbreaking or earth-shattering from Jerome in the last little bit. But Brendan, I think, has a little something for us. So what do you got, bud?
All right, we'll take a pause here, guys. I'm still listening to Fitcher Powell here in my ear. Again, it's been very kind of toned down, very subdued almost Jerome Powell, saying all the right things at all the right times, answering questions right now still, but nothing terribly exciting. So let's get into a little bit of a review of what we were looking at this morning. Again, coming into this announcement, there were still some opportunities as far as trades are concerned. If you joined us in the pre-market this morning, Sean's going to give you his take on one of those right now.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, so look, very exciting day today, obviously, with Jerome Powell still on board right now. And look, the thing is that he's kind of saved the market the last couple interest rate hikes, especially, or just announcements, especially when he takes that podium. So we'll discuss that a little bit. But the one thing I wanted to discuss real quick was anytime you see purple little ticks, first of all, trade of the day is going to be Meta right now, up 4%. Anytime you see purple on here on my screen, that's going to be short. The reason why Meta was looking weak yesterday, man, there's been a couple days in a row here where Meta broke below that 170. We're still right there right now, but that 170 was key. We wanted to be short until we broke sort of above that 170. We kind of started with a little bit of a long. Actually, that was, I don't know if you guys are watching, but we went short and then all of a sudden the market bumped up. So we just instantly went long there, took some money out. Then we started to go short, short, short until it eventually broke back above our first shorting level. So we were actually quite up on Facebook, aka Meta, aka the other way, I guess. Now it's officially Meta, but so right into here, all of a sudden, I don't know. It was in and around this time when around 1 o'clock there was a little bit of a headline coming out. I believe it was from Verge, came through and said that they were sort of changing the algorithm to try to bump up Reels a bit and compete a little bit with TikTok. And then when that started to happen, we were like, "What's the news? What's the news?" Because it just started to ramp itself to the upside. Meanwhile, and that's why I have the NASDAQ here, you can see kind of what the NASDAQ was doing. This was the NASDAQ heading into the 2 p.m. I mean, there's the number at 2 when the volume started to pick up right there. But I guess I should have gone in. The NASDAQ wasn't doing anything before the number, as you can see right there. And this was Meta. Meta was ramping. So what I was pointing out was right here. The market was pretty flat, and Meta was starting to go up. So instantly, when Fed hits, we could have also done TQQ. That was a big trade for us. But what we waited for here was just this level. So here's 2 o'clock, right? You can start to see sort of when the volume spikes up there. Look, first move up, right to 170. Probably should have shorted that, but I don't want to be in the way of this first move. I said it would be 1, 2, 3, right? So here's the first move down, then first move up. Then it comes back down. There's the retracement back. Here's the last move. And it comes back into that 166 area. Well, I say this all the time. Once it shows its face and its colors, that's when the trade happens. So it comes down here, right into 165. We kind of have a bottom. So we take this, comes back in, and sure, it does go against us about that 50 cents or so. I believe we're long at 165. 30 something or 160, no, it's above that. 165.83, something like that. We actually had the long there, and we're just gonna hold it if it breaks down through 165. It doesn't do that, it gets pretty close. Then all of a sudden, ignite to the upside, takes a piece out. Remember, this is 165.80. Those are 166.30s, out. Then it blows up. That's $1. Then we let it go to the upside, and there it goes. A lot of this action starting when Powell took the podium. This was part of the trade. I said we wanted to wait. Notice, no trades from 2 o'clock until 2:30. We wanted Powell to stand in front of there and have our back. Looks like he had that exactly. Boom, that's 165.80. That's 168.30 or something, 168.50 out. So that's $3. Boom to the upside. At one point, this was $6 in the money. You always got to have an out. So, we should have took it out at 170 again. We take it out on the way back down. It goes all the way to 172. We take it out at 170.50. The good news about that was, bang, it came all the way back down to 168. So we actually save ourselves $2.50 and give us a chance to reload. So we actually reloaded that long at 168.50. First piece out 169, next piece out 169.20, and now I'm actually waiting for the high of the day. I'm trying to get reloaded if we come back down here to VWAP, but let's just see this little dance. Maybe we come back up to that 171.50. So I have an order there, was sort of hoping that as I was doing this trade of the day, we'd get taken out there at 171, but it looks like we're trying to fade back down in. Jerome Powell's still on the podium, and I just want to say, that's what it's all about. Have a plan. We knew we wanted Meta. We knew we wanted to switch from the shorts into the longs because of that news piece. Then it gave us this bottom. Then we waited for Powell. So there's kind of different tiers to this trade, but that's why I'm so happy when this works out, because you put the effort in, you sit in front of screens for 20 years, sometimes you get it right, and today we nailed it, and it's your trade of the day.
Yeah, there was a bit of a downtick there, guys, on a note of him suggesting, let me get the actual language here, as far as when they're raising and how high they're going to go. It was, he was asked on, is it possible to go too far? And he said, obviously, yes, it's possible to go too far, and it's very difficult to control where that is. So that caused that bit of a downtick there in the overall market. But overall, I mean, still kind of stuck in this range at this point.
Yeah, like we were saying, it's not quite the same as last time because we weren't really sitting around in this range for so long. And thank you, Brendan, of course, keeping us abreast of what else is going on in the market. I'm still in kind of scalp mode. I'm going to scalp off this recent low on Amazon. But Sidhu, if you remember that name from this morning, up 130% still and actually testing the high of the day. So there is a bit of an impending potential breakout through 340 on Sidhu. If it gets through this, look, it's got room to $4, right? I think he said this morning when it tried to get through 3. It got like a 10% move through 3 and then just rejected over and over again. I think you have a shot to take out this high with 45 minutes to go, plenty of time in this market. Checks shoulders, still on podium, still in scalp mode. This is not scientific to say that, when Jerome's done, we're going to rally to the high of the day. It's kind of what happened last time.
That is what I'm saying. I think the same thing too.
Well, it's what happened last time. But until that happens, I just want to do this kind of a thing. Just kind of get in, get out on the chart for a second. Just sort of get in at the bottom of a range in a stock that we like, and then scalp some out, try to hold on, see if you can't go to the high. I'm back over to Amazon because I like the wick off bottom that it put out in this range. If it's not giving me VWAP, it did give you this 106.5 wick bottom through. So step in front of it, scalp a little better than 1-to-1, and then see if you can't press through the high of the day. That way, if we take out the top, plenty of room to that 110. Where if we get to the target on the NASDAQ, I think I'd be thinking about that 110. But we're still in the pocket here. And when I say in the pocket, I mean nothing that I can see outside of Sidhu is breaking out anymore. Tesla's pulled back below 700, now sitting at 690. It's worth noting, Beyond Meat, oddly enough, I said nothing's breaking out. We mentioned Beyond Meat, and actually, no, so check that. a couple of people in the chat mentioned Beyond Meat, and I brought it up. That's actually still breaking out past its post-Fed,
What's
I suppose,
the news
high.
on that?
Well, that's what it's up 15%, and there's very few stocks that haven't pulled back from their highs. This one is still above its breakout price, so there's something a little bit relatively strong about Beyond Meat, which I'm only bringing it up because that's a bit weird in my estimation. So
I'll tell you, I mean, it's not
maybe
that,
it's
not that
no,
weird.
it has a big short interest.
Yeah, it's
I
not
get
that weird when you're going to see this, but yeah, the 15%.
But so is Carvana.
Oh no, I know. Here's the short interest here, 30. And by the way, Randy is in the building. Randy's going to be coming out to dinner tonight as well.
Oh yeah, that's
and the one thing about Randy is this must be a big day because he got himself a haircut, Randy. So
of course he did.
He's ready to rock and roll. Night on the town. Randy in the building, and he's wearing jeans but not jorts. So that's how you know we're going to a higher class place because he doesn't have the jorts on right now. But there it is, 39% short on Beyond Meat. Shout out to Randy. He was here, and then as you were talking, he left. So we'll get him back on.
I didn't even see him.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He's like the pokeroo around
I wanted
here,
to bring
man.
him on here. If I see him next time, he's going to stand here, and you'll be able to see Randy coming through. Okay, yeah, shoulder check again. Some dude with a great beard, but all gray there. Kind of looks like Santa Claus. Asking questions right now to Jerome Powell. I hope that wasn't Santa Claus because, you know, if I was Santa Claus, I'd ask him, is it coal this year or are we dropping gold bars into little kids' stockings?
Look at GDX, by the way.
All right, let's look at GDX. Yeah, that's a good one there.
I think I mentioned it and didn't bring it up, so that's all. Only reason I say it. Actually had a very good move, by the way. A really good move for GDX today.
Yeah, I don't know. Bears versus Bulls, there's somebody in there speaking, I don't know, Gujarati or whatever there, Hindi, I guess. I don't know if you can, is it possible to translate?
I actually
like,
have no
YouTube
idea.
should do that because you know what? Like, whether or not English is your first language or not, I mean, we're sitting here trading, and trading is the language of everybody. I mean, it's numbers, it's that, and I know that you could put the script at the bottom for us. I believe we have that translation, but it'd be kind of cool if the chat did that so I could read some of those questions, if they're questions.
Well, you can cut and
at
paste
all,
the
but I don't know.
I'm almost out of Sidhu. I just got distracted. I would have pulled up GDX myself, but Sidhu did take out the high. I got slippage. I almost said mad slippage. Oh, goodness, Neil, that's a terrible. Anyways, I got a lot of slippage on that 350 break. I ended up paying 55s, but then was able to get 52s. Okay, so I was able to get 52s on a pullback. I'm just playing this to 375. Like, then this getting out quickly has everything to do with buying a breakout at the top. Like, that's nothing different from what I would normally do, which is scalp it, because it's late in the day, man. And with a 320, I know some of these go even farther than that. It's just not the way that I would play it here, but a GDX big mover. But I am going to try the cut and paste, because I think I can just cut that and paste it into Google and translate it. It would be nice if it was automatically done. I mean, Google, you are capable of it. But I said Sidhu had room to 4, and of course, I don't hold it to 4. It just got to 380. So, as usual, Sidhu, everybody's best friend, everyone's favorite cellmate.
I was going to say, so Neil and I are friends for greater than 25 years right now, and we have a WhatsApp group, which I'm sure a lot of you do as well, with some of your high school, grade school friends. I mentioned to our friend, and I said, Neil and I were trading. They put stuff, like every time Neil or I have a stupid thumbnail or we say stupid things in the chat and blah, 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 they're always posting it. You know, they're ragging on us and everything like that. Someone put a video of some dude that had a barbecue. Did you see that one in Brampton?
Oh, yeah.
When it was like outside his window. That was really hilarious. Brampton was representing pretty hard in that one.
That's a very Brampton thing, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to find it and put it
like
on for you. I want you guys to see that for sure, because it's hilarious. But our friend did confirm that, yes, indeed, he remembers a gentleman by that name in that condition. So,
and for the record, before said friend got taken to the drunk tank and met Sidhu, I very valiantly pleaded the case with the officer as best I could.
Bro, we all did.
I'm like, just don't. And then there was a look in his eye like, do you want to go too? And I was like, not really. Nope, sorry, buddy. We gone. We'll see you tomorrow. That's all it was. But like, look, you've got to have your friends, and realistically, the cool thing about it is you just got to be you. I kind of feel like you shouldn't change yourself too much, and surround yourself with people not just like-minded, but that you can chill with, that'll check you, keep it real from every now and then. But you did find it, the barbecue thing.
We're
right? I
ready.
just wanted to make sure.
You ready, Fahad?
Is this? Yeah,
okay, this is it.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a house in Brampton. Everybody please pay very close attention to this. Okay, so here it is. The guy's showing. There's the barbecue. There's his house. Here it is, outside the side of the house. And here he is. He's about to explain the barbecue. It's only a little bit longer. He opens up his door, and as you can see, property, very, very, here it is right here. He's going to show us right now. And there it is, a nice little broil king hanging on the outside. There's his neighbor's house, maybe 5 feet away. Anyways, brought to you by TikTok. So that was pretty cool, pretty exciting there. So a shout out to our crew for sharing that. And I'm sure a lot of you have things like that about your hometown and whatnot, and we always kind of rag
Maybe not
on
exactly like that.
Brampton.
Maybe not exactly like
but
that.
there it is, there it is, there it is. Yeah, I think that's a really bad decision to do that.
if I did that, my neighbors would kick me out of the thing.
But there you go. We'll do this, though. Because maybe if the guy was trading some meta, he could put that barbecue somewhere else. Although, that's a pretty creative.
That's very unsafe.
I mean, that guy
by the
could
way.
be, so I'm questioning the safety there,
No,
but I like the,
We're
I
not
like the idea.
endorsing. Like, I get it, it's funny, but like, that's a come on, man.
That's funny, DKL fighter. That
Don't
guy
do
knows how to
that.
get lit. Yeah, that's for
do
sure.
that.
Like, that is way too close. Like, if that's their bedroom or something, like, that is just way too close for comfort for me.
Can't do that.
But anyways, I thought that was pretty funny, and I think we're adding some comedic value here to the show. So thank you for that. All right, you know what? I mean, like, why am I looking at $1.50 on Facebook and Meta? And first of all, let's rehydrate. You know, and not taking that out. That's like 4 or 5 tops now on Meta.
Talking?
He's still talking. Yeah, that's kind of part of the reason why.
Why is he still talking?
I don't know, but I kind of want to hold it though for that reason, man. So we'll just wait. It's bounced off 170. Look, so for those of you that are still in this, I think you should be taking pieces out right now. It's bounced off 170 a bunch of times. I'm kind of cruising. Like, this has been my biggest day in the last couple months probably here. So we're really happy with everything, and I'm just willing to let this ride. So again, that's why I'm just saying right now, this is like a 1, 2, 3 top, triple top right now. Normally that's a sign that it's coming back down. I'm gonna play for the bomb, and that's that. So. Just like, oh, congratulations to the Mariners T-ball team that I'm coaching. We are now 8-2. That's good. That's been run through. So we are #1 in the High Park T-ball league. No thanks to the coaching, but I am also coaching now the Rep Girls team, 7-8. So that should be a lot of fun. We have our
Age is 7.
Age 7 to 8. Yes, and that should be.
Yeah, it's not your record.
That should no. We don't have any record yet. We haven't played yet, and record for them is going to be irrelevant. It's a lot of fun coaching T-ball. So that's that. Here we go. Meta right back up. Now $2 in the money. 170.50. This is where we took it out before. So things that make you go
Things that make you go Saw someone in the chat just say I lost on Netflix. Help. I'm not like that's. I'm not sure what to do about that. I mean, it's near the high of the day, so it's kind of like if you're short Netflix, what's going on? If you're short Netflix, you have the high of the day, I guess, an hour. Like, it's got a wick top like everything else. That's oddly enough strong. Like, I just got out of Amazon, but you could have been doing that same trade basically anywhere. It looks like Netflix, 179 low, right into this 181, 182 level, retesting some of these highs. I'm not sure. Like, it's basically done the same thing as everything else. Double bottom at whatever its support was, down at 176. It's strong, it's up 8.5%. It put in the higher low. It's starting to break back out, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's spamming, I have no idea. Okay, if it's spamming, that's my bad for even bringing it up. I was asked what time frame I execute trades on. I always show you guys a 3-minute chart. However, when I'm looking for levels, like when I was trying to find where these bottoms would be, the 3 was okay, but I was going to the 15-minute a lot of times for real support. And when I look at the futures, I'm looking at a 60-minute chart on the futures. I was on a really high time frame when I'm showing you those gaps on the future. Here comes the top again for Amazon. I keep turning my head to see if he's still going on.
the hot step.
I want the top break like as he walks off the podium. It's like he steps off the podium and we break out the high, or he steps off the podium and we're bouncing off the long. Like one of those two would be happy for me.
Bang for the money. As that's coming in now, $2 in the money. We talked about that, waiting out, guys. Basically just waiting out for that trade to come on Meta, right? I mean, I said if you want to 1, 2 triple tops there, I didn't say get everything out, get some out down there. I think that was probably worth the trade for anybody that was thinking about that. Meta right now back up to the upside, 171. I don't know, man. I want to wait for higher than this. I think we blow up. And again, a shout out to my kid, again, because I hope, I'm going to talk to him after the show, but I hope he put some money in, man. I said, basically at 2:30, get your cash in. And if he did, man, that's an easy 3P on that one. What's up, B?
Happy to say, guys, the press conference has wrapped up. The market obviously liking that the press conference has wrapped up. I love the way this guy ends press conferences. He literally says, he ends what he's saying and then says, thank you very much, and he runs off the stage. So that is the Fed for this month, guys.
Would you say?
Damn right he does, man. If I was Jerome Powell, I'd be like, mic drop. But the thing is, I mean, I wouldn't be that happy with everything. Obviously, those of us that are in the market. I mean, even on a NASDAQ 3% up, still down 27%.
Well, yeah,
from its highs in January. So the NASDAQ still a nice little move down there. And let's just see if we can retrace it. The thing is, man, you've retraced 10% of the move today.
Yeah.
Let's look on the positive side of things. You know, not bad.
Like, you cannot complain about what we've seen. I just want to put it in perspective because I said it at the beginning, and for anyone that's tuning in maybe a little bit late, oops, you shouldn't be. You should have been. It's Fed Day, man. You got to be paying attention closer. You
got to tune in 10 minutes early.
Very different from what we saw last time. On the SPY, this is what we were looking at the last time we had the Fed. You were at a major support level. You had already shown support there, and then you rallied to the next high and then dumped for the next week. This is a very different situation. We've blown through support, put in a huge wick bottom, and are now trying to retrace back to like previous support levels, not resistance. We're going into previous support. Still the same kind of a gap fill type move, but it would be a much more extreme thing to turn around from here than it was to turn around from the 50 period and establish resistance after the Fed came through. That's why it's a bit of a different story. If we were to start filling the gap even heavier here, there's just more room to run than there was last time. So I'm not saying we're rallying from here, but what we had happen where it's like just immediately reject the previous highs and then go down, those were multi-day highs that we went into. We don't have multi-day high resistance at these levels in the SPY, and we just turned, by the way, bear market on the SPY just now. You also have that to contend with that you're bouncing away from.
Yeah, $10 out of Meta here, right? So, I mean, that's just a big move. As rare, there it is right now. Back to the high of the day. Look at this. There's Meta there, 166. There's the 170. There's the reload on that one. We'll floss it off as now we're going back up to the upside one more time. Only a half hour left, man. And I said I was holding out until Uncle Jerome was done. He's done now. And there we go, right back up to the high of the day. One more time for Meta. Yes, sir. What a move, man. 3.5% to the upside. Let's go. 171.20. You know what? And the thing about it is, I want to say it was Ron Williams, I believe, here, that had a very, very good point. Where was it? What? I can't remember what it was now. Oh, there it is. It's right here. This is the point right here. Shout out to Ron Williams. Thank you again for everybody who's in the chat. We'll do our best to answer as much as we can. Let's go, Meta, right now. 250 in the money. This is the important point that I saw right here. Smoking these Apple and AMDs. And it's not that, it's this last part. Go with what works. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw the trade of the day that we just did, but remember what I said about Meta here? We started the day short. All these purples are shorts. Because again, once Meta broke 170 a few days ago, we've been shorting Meta. I don't know if my trades will show up from yesterday. No, they're not. But these short Metas, right? And then all of a sudden, they got that news from TikTok or from themselves that they're changing Reels a little bit to more look like TikTok. And then this happened. Look, this is 1 o'clock, straight to the upside. Look at the NASDAQ at 1 o'clock. So you got to go back to 12 o'clock. The NASDAQ, it started to move, but then it started to come back down right here. And then boom, to the upside. Then the Fed came. So this movement right in here is flat, right? Meta, well, let's minimize that. Meta was doing this as we were going flat on the NASDAQ. So instantly we wanted the Meta long. It goes right up to 171.50. I might just have to take this out. This was my target. Greed is good, but not great, okay? So in trading, you could be humbled by the market in a matter of seconds. So I think that this has been already a banger call. Remember, guys, this move up there is $5, right? I mean, you add these all up. Here we go, back to the high of the day. You guys want this on the chat. There it is. It's a money, money, money kind of thing. And we're going nuts here. Back up to day's high. And again, rewind the tape. 20 minutes ago, this is what I said. I'm expecting when Powell's gone that we'd have this move. I'm at the highest spot I've been at in months here. Not months, but maybe a month on the show. So really, really happy with some of these trades, let alone this TQQ trade. I know we got out there, but look at this. This was a banger long. We got out there when it broke, hit it back, took $1.50 on the triple Qs.
So we're right at the top. I mean, we're about 5 cents away from Amazon breaking the high. 109 in play. So we kind of thought we'd get to the top. Meta's near that high. If it pulls back, I don't want to be sitting there, not trying to get the dips on these. But it looks like we are aiming for that break. Quickly here, the early look from Financial Juice, and maybe it doesn't matter as much on a day where we're explosive like this, but 760 to sell on the imbalance. I don't know if I care too much about that. If you're wondering when the next Fed decision is, someone asked that, end of July the 27th. You can always go, and I put the link in. CME Group has a countdown to the Fed tool. I believe their website, the Fed website obviously, also has a calendar that you can look at. So if you're curious about that, you can always check out the website, but CME has that great Fed Watch tool where they have a countdown just sitting right there at any time. I did put the link in the chat. I'm sure Bear Bulls can reinforce that or put it there again. Here comes that high of the day break. It's actually size on 109, on Amazon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I didn't get it again.
I mean, we're at 172 right now on Meta, and still going. I'm not going to take any more positions, honestly, heading into the close. I'll take some questions. If there's anything you guys want to look at here, I just want this to roll. And honestly, if I start getting into something and it doesn't work out, I'll be mad because I'm not focusing on Meta. But there it is, beautiful movement. Now 350 in the money. I mean, our initial long is 166. So I mean, we just reloaded it and doubled, tripled. Meta, the number one name profitability-wise here today on the show. So there goes Meta. Roblox, another big name for us. AMD, okay, I'll check out AMD. Again, Costco, I mean, all of these names. I'll check them all out for you. AMD, I'm assuming, is another rip there again. And look, it's not like it's rocket science if you sort of defended some of these bottoms and I just messaged my kid right now as well, and I'm like, hey, bro, did you take that trade? Because on the way home last night and on the way into work today, he was asking me, so what do we expect? And I said exactly the same thing I told to you guys this morning at 10:30, whenever we were talking, well, we were talking about it all morning, 8:30, was that I expect to move down off the announcement and then bang to the upside, let alone when Powell talks, boom, to the upside as well. And it's all sort of paying off right now as this move is starting to extend out. So AMD, a nice move again. Look at it, respect this 50 period. That's a great little trade. I get, like, it's 334. The market's up 4%. The imbalances, what did we get again? 760 to sell. So that's a little influential maybe right now, especially on a Fed day. You know what else we didn't talk about, Neil? Do you know what Friday is?
Oh, yeah, quad witching. Oh, it's quad.
It's quad witching. Quad Friday is one of the biggest market events of the year. Is this Friday, quad witching.
Yeah, we did forget about that. Oops.
We did. We just forgot to mention it. So, if you're trading with us, get ready for Friday, man, because quad witching, especially with this rate environment now, people are going to be adding and removing portfolio names like crazy. So I'm excited to be here again. I'm excited every day, but Friday is going to be another monster day for the close. I'm already getting worked up about it because that I know for traders on the floor as well, it's definitely
always a big event.
It's a big marketable event here for us on that day. A break of 171 downside, we're out. Enough is enough. This just went to 172. I'm not going to give this all back. 171 breaker 19, and we're out of this one for a monster one more time here on Trader TV Live. The best show on YouTube, let alone the best trading show. You found it. We're here for you. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and I did get the break on Amazon, but then I remember two things. One, when you mentioned that about quad witching, maybe that's why we're not seeing quite as much strength. A little bit. That's another difference that we had. So the break on Amazon 119, in and out. I don't want to be in anything too long. Also, we have to be flat by the end of the day, and I want to be close to flat by that 350 mark. However, I was asked why not hold Sidhu all the way to 4, and my reasoning was if I think 4 is that kind of level where I think there can be rejection, I think that's where shorts start to come in. So usually I want to be out before that happens and then looking for the other side of the trade. I did actually jump into this. Usually I wouldn't at this time, but it put in sort of like a failed like, okay, so the high was 394. It then went right to 99 and rejected it. So I was able to get into the previous high at 94, which is just a setup that I like. So if it breaks 4, I'll be out of this. And maybe it's a last trade until 350. We'll have to see there. But yeah, that's a really big point about, well, it's always a big event, but it's a really big point about there being the rebalancing. You've had a lot. Obviously, the market's been volatile since the last number, but you've had the major split in Amazon since then. We've seen huge things coming in and out of indexes, some small cap names going into like the 600. That I was a big one.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of index changes. The more volatile it is, the more rebalancing that has to get done to these indexes, and we've seen a lot of that. So Sidhu battling this $4. We are in the short. My stop is automatically through $4 here, but you are getting a bit of a turn in the overall market. Sidhu doesn't care about that, by the way.
Yeah, I just want to say right now we are now out of that one, so we'll just flush down. I mean, I was going to say flush down Meta, but I mean, Meta's up 4%, but there it is, out at 171. That looks like a good out, right? We gave you that out. And again, this is the one thing, and I keep saying this about priding ourselves and just how proud we are about the show. And it's like, you know, I'm not that guy that's telling you like, okay, now I'm out at 171 when it's at 170.50. You know what I mean? I gave this out when we were at 171.50. So I was like, you know what? If this breaks 171, we're gone. And so there it is, man. It's like, I'm not using anybody's liquidity, nothing like that. We're getting in, we're getting out. We're telling you why we like these trades, why we're in and why we're out. So, I mean, I hope you're enjoying the show. And on that note, I'm going to do one more like count right here, if we can get that going, man. Like, let's do a record. We have record viewers right now, 6,200. I know a lot of you have probably already hit the like, but if you could do that, it's a big, big share for us on the YouTube front. So, you know, we're really trying to get this show as popular as possible. So like, share, talk about it at dinner tonight. Tell your kids about it. I tell my kids about it every day, of course, and then they just throw in my face that we don't have 100 million subscribers. Because
my daughter doesn't know enough to say that.
Yeah, exactly. So they keep saying, this Mr. Beast guy, but we're going to get there is what I tell them. And then I told you my kid was like, okay, he made me find out our release day was August 2019. He did the math and then predicted that we will be over 1 million subscribers in under 3 years from now. I'm going to say, let's go under a year and a half.
See, but if your kids are into Mr. Beast, that's a heck of a lot better than like the only thing on YouTube that my daughter pays attention to is this Blinky. And I don't know.
I
don't know if you've seen Blinky.
I have not.
But don't. That's all I got. And you know what?
There's a lot of these. Man.
I'm not hating because he's obviously great. And
what is it? What is Blinky all about?
I don't know.
Is it like puppets? Is it
not really? Like he'll go to like a theme park and it'll show him, or at like a playground, and then it'll show him playing on the playground. And he's got a funny hat and everything, and he's got a funny voice. To be perfectly honest, I kind of feel like he's stolen his whole bit from Pee Wee Herman, or at least a little bit of that. So it's great.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't steal his whole bit from Pee Wee Herman.
I was trying not to go there.
I go there.
But no, but it's great. I mean, everyone do your own thing. It's just for parents.
Oh, it's super chat time.
Some things are fun. Oh, thank you guys so much, Dustin, Jim.
Yeah. What's up, Dustin? Great show on. Yeah, we'll go over red boxes there. What's up, Jim?
RDBX.
Thank you so much for all the education and advice. Yeah, you're welcome, Jim Boxer right there. Tonight, some Jim Beam going to get thrown around. Thank you so much for all that love, man. It means a lot to us here on the show. What's up, camera? There it is. And we got to say shout out to the Blue Jays. Billy down there got robbed last night. What's up with that, Kikuchi? He had a $50 bet, about to cash in $5,800, and he was 5 for 6 or 6 for 7.
It's blippy.
And then all of a sudden, the Blue Jays could not hold. They were never winning that game. Yeah, I was gonna say they can't hold the lead, but they were never winning. So shout out to that. But hey, you know what, man? You can't win if you don't play. So that's part of the gamble there. And look at that out again on Meta. And again, I think Jim Boxer, this is the kind of the stuff that again I believe. And thank you for saying we're going to be on network TV. Let me know if you know anybody, and they can watch the show, and then we'll discuss a network TV deal on that front there. Shout out, I think our producer might be watching, so there you go. Hopefully we can get that deal done. But there it is, Meta right now. He's going to tell us, guys, I don't want to go on network TV.
No.
But 171 to the downside right there. And again, you're not going to find, like, forget about it. Like, I used to watch CNBC. That's how I got into this. My dad used to watch Mad Money. I talk to him about it all the time. He's a refrigeration mechanic. We used to watch it together when he got home. Not every night, things like that. That's part of why I'm so into these little things like dead cat bounce, because Kramer hits these things. But the point is that I want to be teaching. I want to be explaining myself to everybody. So does Neil, Brendan, obviously. That's why we have this team together. And on that note, we still are hiring. We still are looking for. We want to put the perfect combination in front of you with all of us and another host. So if anybody's here in the Toronto area or GTA or in Canada, quite frankly, and want to work for us, I don't know if we have that graphic still, Fahad. I know Lucas is gone. We could throw that up again, but you just have to hit hashtag or exclamation mark apply, and it's marketing at tradertv.live. We're looking for someone else to come through and host with Brendan. So hey, if you have any journalism experience and like the market, we'll try to help you out as much as we can.
With a passion for the market. I mean, realistically, because if you look at the entire team, that's basically where it comes from. And I think down to even Prad, Luca, Ian, all kicking butt. And really, that's kind of, how we talk here is kind of the same thing, maybe a little bit louder and faster, that we kind of would do amongst ourselves or on the trading floor. So it's really just, it's old hat for us. Like when Dustin asked about Redbox holding the range in these levels all day, I'll do you one better than that. It's not just that it's holding the range all day long. I mean, you also had this, like it had a parabolic move up, got to 12, and I remember distinctly, Gisham was like, Redbox failing at $12, and I was like, oh my goodness, that can manage to hold out at 11. I think it can be good. Then it failed 11. I'm like, oh, it looks like I think that bounce is done because it got back to 1050, and then it held that 1050, so it put in a failed break through that recent high at 11 even, and still managed to sustain that. So it's 1050 you got to put in there. And this is a name that it's already done a huge pullback. Usually it's a day or two that you have to hold this range. Like look what happens, these guys. Like when it does the big pullback, it's always more than one day that you have to be able to hold the low. Always more than one day before you get another leg up. So I think it's got a little bit to prove here at 10-11, but it's done that first step, which is today resisting the flush, managing to find a decent bottom. Can it do that a couple more days, Brendo?
Quickly, guys, on this move back down here, the top, almost to the number, in fact, is that bear market number for the overall market. So we went right up to it, almost touched it, and then rejected hard off of it. So just a note maybe for tomorrow as far as key levels for the SPY.
We actually had a graphic which was like key levels. It was corny, and it was like a key came up there. And then every time it gets said, I'm just like,
we're missing the Pokeroo, I'm missing the hot dog cannons. We're missing a lot of stuff. We're missing Street Fighter. We're missing a lot of stuff, but these guys are busy, guys, so that's all good. We just went back long into the market, so we'll see if we can fire off one cannon left. Give me that. Oh, missed it. But we're going to see if that can go one more time here. TQQ off that wick bottom there of $25. We'll see if we can get that going. We're long at 25.08, so it's a flat trade right now. If we do break below 25, we'll take a little bit more shares and then look at 24.80 or 24.90, sorry, right there, this little bottom piece. I mean, we could hold it all the way back down to here, but with these imbalances coming, and I don't know if we have another update on it, but the last one was 760 to sell. So, I don't know, but the TQQ broke below that 50 period, so we are getting very, very close here to breaking even lower. So watch out. We broke above. I just thought, hey, maybe this move downside there. It's just such an aggressive move up and then such an aggressive move down. And remember, I said I wanted to get out of Facebook basically when Jerome Powell stepped off the podium. Like, when was that? Like, let me just guess. At approximately, I'll say he probably stepped off right about here. 3:32 is going to be my guess on when Jerome Powell stepped away from the podium. And then you're going to see there, we just reloaded that. We're going to see on Meta there, right where we got out. Look at that out right now, 171. You're down to 169. That's called saving yourselves $2. So that was a good trade there to get out. And now we're back into this long TQQ long, basically 25 flat, 24.99.
So one mistake that I did make in finding the upside top. The NASDAQ, I showed you guys the 60-minute chart up here. We got close. It got into the the 100 range, 100-point handle without actually getting to that top. But the ES was a totally different story. I went the wrong way. The ES was a totally different story. This came right in and then couldn't even fill in the gap. And that was the other end of the equation. So we ended up rejecting on the ES, and that's why we didn't push higher. So we talk about the futures, and we'll a lot of times mention the NASDAQ because, heck, that's what's been for years, recently that's what's been driving us. But today we actually resisted the top on the S&P 500, and that's why you get that little bit of a pullback there. Just wanted to quickly note that. Sidu, by the way, still running, looking pretty strong.
Oh my gosh, and let's just do this, man. I didn't want to do that one. I actually wanted to do the gap up one, so let's just go over that one. Props up, look at the TQQ. We're average price there. We just got some out at 10s. So now it's starting to go up to the upside. We have that 50 period right there. So there's the reload down there at 24.98, giving us that average price of 24.99. You saw me take that, now you're at 25.15. I mean, we'll just do this again. We're having, like I said, man, this is the biggest day for me in a little while, and it's just getting better. Sometimes when you're on one, it's like, that's just what happens, and so that's a good trade right here. We'll see if we can top it off with an even bigger run here into the close. But we do have that imbalance. Pratt is no longer here, so he's not updating that. So Brendan, if you could see something there on FJ, Financial Juice, let us know. The last update was about 20 minutes ago, and it was 760 to sell. So if that was about 20 minutes ago, you're looking at some of these tops.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it's come off a little bit. Okay, so now the market, I'm going to take out one more piece here on the triple Qs. And remember, it's like a smorgasbord here. All you have to do is offer, and you basically get filled. Or the Dixie? UVXY, okay.
Ripping right now.
Okay, so that's great for us, right? We'll see if that's going to the upside. Well, VIX was sub 30. There. So the VIX being sub 30 is a great sign. But yeah, ripping right now because the market is trying to head back to the downside right here. So maybe VIX is starting to go. But during Powell, man, it got to sub 30. 40 is an interesting spot for VIX. No change from Brendan. So we still have that 760 to sell side. We just took another piece out there at 8. So right now we only have 30% left. So just letting people know we've gotten out of this. I don't remember the last time I was like long and this thing actually went up into the market, into the closing and balance. So we'll look at that. And everyone's saying to themselves,
last time we were at this is a very different feeling. We're at the highs last time.
What are these guys talking about with it closing imbalances, right? So let's have a look here quickly. It's at 350. The NYSE and NASDAQ and Amex, NYSE ARCA, are going to, or American, I guess it's called now, are going to produce market on close orders. Right now, these are all from 9:30. They will be coming out and they will say 350 there. And then when they come out, those are indicated interests for closing trades. So if I see like on there, TQQ probably will be on, but it's more like Apple, Microsoft. Obviously, when you're trading the NASDAQ, you're looking for the big cap tech names to start to bounce. On that note, man, honestly, I'm going to take another piece out at 09. There it is, just rips right through. Now we only have 20%. We took out another piece because I am getting a little bit nervous. If this does come out a sell, then we're in trouble, right? So, we just talked, oops. My bad. We had another offer there at 15s that just got hit. So again, our offer at 15 was right there. Whatever, I'll take 15-cent winners on this all day. There it is right there, another out at the 50 period. So we've done pretty good. Let's see if we can rip to the high side now at on this number, which is coming out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, any second now. Thank you so much, Ron Williams. Show some love for the production team. We say all the time,
yes, sir.
Luca, Lucas, Fahad doing a fantastic job, obviously. But in the back, man, like Liz on social media and Maggie doing just about everything, keeping us all in line as well. But, the only reason we look good and you get all these fancy shots to keep it entertaining for you is because they kick butt. As I'm doing it, I'm complimenting you when you go to the bald cam, Fahad. Anyways, here come the imbalances. I can't believe you just did that, bro. Really?
I can.
I knew he would, though.
Fahad is suspect.
What do we got here? PBR, that's Petrobras. Who cares? Palantir, $2 million to buy. Apple, Apple 1.8 to sell. Amazon 1.5 to sell. Intel 1.3. So it is southbound. I got kind of tripped up by Petrobras and Palantir, but is to the sell side and balance. Microsoft 1.2 to sell. Cisco 1.1 million to sell. So the big boys were to the sell side there. Whoa, my futures level 2 just got spicy. And by spicy, I mean bid went kind of gone for a second there. What the?
Yeah, one-time fave Palantir. Yeah, I still like Palantir down there.
I'm not used to seeing it, that's all.
Yeah, so the triple Qs come out for flat, and that's it. The diamond hand man is gone there, and I just say that as a joke because we just lose that trade right there as it comes right out, right at that price. So again, the funny thing is we only had 10% left. Remember I told you we had 30%, then I was getting nervous. I took that 10, and then we had another piece sitting here right at 15. So we got out, so we only wound up having 10% left. So there's the dump out downside right now as that market market imbalance getting a little ugly. Let's just check out what Meta is doing. And again, man, you are up 4% on the NASDAQ. If that's not a watershed sell there, like nothing's changed. It actually gave us exactly what they said they would. So we'll digest the number. We'll figure it all out. But so far, so good on a nice up day here, up 2.5%. I mean, you got to be happy with that heading into the close. But yeah, there's Meta, good sell for us there. Let's see where we go from here to the downside. Just a quick look one more time here.
Oh, you're right, Stephanie.
On the imbalances. Well, what's up?
Stephanie with the super chat. She's like, many thanks to the Trader TV team. I've learned so much watching and learning. Now let's all put on some capris and celebrate a great day. You better believe it. I mean, I'm not actually going to do that, but it's all about sometimes a baller just has to wear those capris, Fahad, and you are an absolute baller. At least I assume you are. Because
I was going to say, how do you know this guy's a baller?
Yeah,
looks like one.
He looks very trustworthy, and he tells me he has game.
Wait a minute, he looks trustworthy?
Straight game. You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, we can't. I'd love to have people look at this guy. But
you guys can't judge. I think he looks trustworthy. And he says he has some game. So you said he has a fadeaway.
Oh, trustworthy in the game. Well, I believe he has some game. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. He crossed people over. I mean, I could probably D him up, but that's a different story.
It'd probably be. One day. Okay. All right, let's get back to trading here. He's talking to us. He wants to ball up against us, so we could do that. We should have. Look, I'm still talking about a Trader TV Live get-together at some point. So hopefully we could do that. We've talked about Vegas. Every time I bring it up in the meeting, it gets slammed out. So we'll see if we could do that. Yeah, Neil should go to Vegas. I might be going to Vegas soon. So holler at me, anybody that's down there in Vegas. What's up with that? Let me know if you got any hookups on hotels. I'll stay there with you, and we'll see. That should be a lot of fun. What's up? We love you too. Thank you, Suhin, coming through as well with the super chat. Thank you so much for that one. Love you as well. Thank you to everybody, man. You're in Miami. Yeah, I was in Miami. What's up to Playmaker? Shout out to the Diamond Realty of Miami. If you are looking to sell your house, do it with the Diamond Man, Diamond Realty of Miami, right there. Free paid sponsorship, free sponsorship right there for that. So thank you so much there. As you go Bears versus Bulls, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tyrone. Everybody, come to Hawaii. I'm there, man. Let's go, everybody. MGM, I'm there. Daryl, what's up, MGM? So the last place I stayed at was Venetian there. So I stayed at the Venetian. Never stayed at the Wynn. I'd like to stay at the Wynn. Never stayed at Bellagio.
I'm not picky about it.
Planet Hollywood. Yeah, you're not picky where you're going to stay. Planet Hollywood. Been there. Venetian, and there's another one attached. Palazzo, that's the other one attached.
Suffice to say, all I will say about Vegas is it would be nice for me to finally pay for a trip to Vegas and actually have myself go instead of somebody else, right? So that's what I would like to do. I'm not going to get into
Encore at Wynn. Yeah, that's
what you got to do, man. Oh, you guys want a Mortal Kombat tournament? You guys we keep talking about Mario Kart, whatever it might be. I like NBA Jam, do what you got to do. Worth mentioning, by the way, there's big imbalances that are not moving. And it's kind of weird. Like WeWork has a huge one. Palantir
it's going to move right now. It's 355.
I know, 355's coming up, and I'm watching like multi-million imbalances on Palantir that are staying. DNA is staying, Uber is stayed. WeWork has a 1.5 million buy imbalance, so somebody likes it, but it's not really doing anything. So I figure in 15 seconds.
Watch all these flip. Come over here.
They should all flip. You go to Sean. If they don't all flip, I'll be shocked because none of the stocks are acting like they're sitting there.
So here's Palantir right here, right? It has a big buy. Watch this. 355. I believe this will probably switch up again. Let's see if it goes to the downside right now. And it is 355 right now. So let's see what happens to Palantir. There it is. No, Palantir grows. Some of these, they did not flip around. Palantir was 1.5, now 1.6. A lot of these stayed high up. So yeah, I take that back. Yo, Randy, I said that you got a haircut. Come over here. I want to show it to everybody. Randy's getting ready to rock and roll. I heard we're going out for drinks. Looking sharp. Got on your nice collared shirt. When's the last time we saw Randy in a collared shirt there? I like that. I like that haircut there.
No jorts? What's going on?
No jorts. Man? That's why I said, we're going out to a fancy restaurant when Randy is not in jorts. So big shout out to that one as we go, getting ready to go get some beers after the market. So we'll do that little pre-drinking action going on there. Thank you again for all the super chats. We just got another one, it looks like. A 21. This must be Miyagi greater than Stephanie. Okay, so that's good. Mr. Miyagi is in the building right there. Thank you so much. Oh, $1 greater. get it. Thank you so much for all the super chats, man. Means a lot to us. And again, you know, we do it for you. So hopefully you're all having a great time with us. Man, I'm exhausted. It's Hydration Nation. Man,
my one has been empty for like half an hour.
I'm going to be going out for 2 nights this week. Wow. Sunday night, we were at the Toronto Beach Club. And then.
It's like you're young.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm so young. That's why. So again, shout out to everybody. Hydration Nation rules. And as long as you're drinking some of this, it should be a good day tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get some Bernie Mac 3K action.
Yeah.
We're pretty much at 3K likes. So, I mean, you know, thank you guys so much. It's always fun for us to do the show, but trust me when I tell you, these are the types of days and the types of events and the types of market moves that as a trader you learn, you live for, you learn from, and this is why we kind of do what we do here, because it's hard to trade by yourself. And I understand a lot of you're sitting in front of the computer and you're like, okay, well, I'm trying to learn by myself. What do I do? That's exactly where this entire idea came from. It's that as a trading floor, we've never had to do that. I've never had to trade solo. Sean, I'm assuming the same thing. We've sat next to each other for years. But for those of you that do, you're no longer alone. You got Trader TV Live here for you, and I'm still staring at Palantir, waiting for it to pair off because I don't believe it.
Yeah, when I was, you know, starting the trading floor development team there, I was sort of trading by myself in that room over there.
Okay, briefly.
But, yeah, so I was doing that for about a
floor.
year and a half or so, but still came by. No, you guys were all on chat. I mean,
Yeah.
we're sharing. No, we weren't on chat. I mean, talking about trades. So, okay, here we
He's
go.
listening,
The thing is,
Sean.
man, it's the pepperoni man, and he is. Wait a minute, Randy looks like Sean's big brother. Okay, shout out to that. I'll take that. Randy, much more handsome than I, so I'll take that all day long, baby. I don't have a big brother, but interesting fact, my brother is exactly 1 year younger than me, so to the day. So that's that.
True.
Irish twins, they say, from an Italian family. So, all right, let's go. You want to talk about, possible mafia connections there. Irish twins and an Italian family. So, all right, here we go with only 2 minutes left on the day, man. A big show. SRNE has a 5 million share size imbalance. That's a little small stock, if you remember that one. For sure. SRNE with a sell side 5 million. That's like 35% of the day's volume right there.
Palantir's still not paired.
Palantir's an interesting one, man. But notice the price. It hasn't moved one bit.
No, it has not moved a penny.
So I don't know what's up with that one, but we are getting very, very excited. I see the pepperoni man.
Oh, double barrel action on the bell.
Someone said Sean is a specimen on the trading floor. I don't even know what that means, so thank you so much for that, I think, there as well. And $3,000. Guys, look, we don't get $3,000 ever for this show. If you're not, this show, the TQQ bangers, the Babas, the Facebooks, the Good Talk, the guy with the barbecue, Randy in the building, Tony in the building, record viewers.
They're both on the bell.
Hit the like button right now. I hope Tony doesn't. Oh, he's by himself there. There he is.
Tony bailed because we didn't get to 3,000 likes. He walked away. He was all sad. Don't make Tony sad.
We're at 2.9 right now. Can we set a record? I think we can with only 4. There it is. Thank you so much for that one. This one, I'm going to do this for all the Miss V fans out there. There she is. She used to call for the likes. Miss V is in there. Chads wish they were Sean. Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you for all the nice talk out there. As we go with only 30 seconds to go here, let's go. Best show on any media there. Thank you so much. So kind. This has been such a great show. 3.1K likes now, Mr. Roberts, with only 15 seconds to go. I know. With only 15 seconds to go. Here we go, man. Way to go, Trader TV Live family. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. There's Randy. He's ready to rock and roll. With only 6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's Randy. God damn it. I forgot that Randy was on the bell.
Look at the thing shake.
You better watch out, Randy. Watch out. That's going to smoke you in the face.
Look, he's just I don't care.
That would be great TV if that happened there.
I
but
don't care.
Randy, I forgot the damage this man can do on the bell. So thank you to Randy for that one. Again, there he is.
It's a little loud,
Thanks,
bro.
Randy. Another one, another super chat there. Thank you very much. A big one too. Another big one. Thank you so much for that. Suhin again, I think it was right. Or was it this? There it is, right there. Another 400. I don't know what. I got to find out what that symbol is there. But thank you, Suhin, again for another super chat. We love everybody, all of our viewers, and especially Brendan, because he's going to give us good news right now.
It was a big day for the market, guys. Worthy of a Randy Bell rigging, I feel, at the end of it all. 2.5% there for the NASDAQ. Leading the way. What a rally off of Jerome and his decision-making. 1.4 for the S&P, 1.2 for the Dow. It's worth noting Bitcoin did break back above 22,000 briefly. We're kind of chopping around, but nice move off the lows once again for cryptos even.
Yes, sir. I mean, look, obviously, yesterday we kind of celebrated when the NASDAQ was up and nothing else was. Today, it's a different story. We actually have everything to the upside, with the exception of crypto, but it made a huge rally. It's more important how we ended the day than what that random number has. Like, that's not judging the momentum to tell you that crypto was down today. We had a huge bounce off 1,000 and then off 20,000. So big moves across across the moves across the market, and then big power moves over there by Randy,
I love
kicking
this chat,
out Tony, which we'll see how that works out for you.
Guy at Lax, Randy needs some counseling.
First of all, you don't remove Tony.
It's included in our benefits. Maybe I'll get Randy
Is it really?
some cans. Randy slaps Jay Powell. You want a new graphic there? Okay, maybe we can do that. Oh, shout out to Luigi. Thank you so much. I just saw that come through. A member for 3 months. I think our record is someone's been a member, I think, for 26 months. That might be as much as we've been on for. I'll have to do the math on that one.
There's a few people in.
Yeah, because it was August 2019. So
there's a few.
No, that would only be 2 years. It'd be August 2021. But anyways, I'll do the math on that. I think maybe it was 28 months. But thank you, Luigi. Thank you to everybody, man. A lot of hearts coming through today. So, hey, it's been a big day. We've already sort of thanked everyone. One person we forget to thank is Branko's over there, Brandon. All day, okay.
I'm never shouting you out on the show again.
But anyways, no, but I was actually thinking about that because it's we shout out, the watch list is so important. He comes in early, does that for us, putting in the work. So a big thank you to Brandon, who's also now managing the whole floor for Greg, because Greg is flying over northern Canada right now. Well, not right now, but in the next couple of weeks. So no Greg for a bit. So he's doing double duty. So big thanks to that. Thank you to everybody who's working so hard, all the production team, and a special big thanks to you, Mr. Wickens. It was a big, busy day today, and obviously, your part on the show is a huge role, especially when we have Mr. Powell going off like that. So I'll let you wrap this up, Brendan. Any last words?
I mean, it came, it went. It was what it was to be expected, right? We got 75 basis points. He said all the right things. I mean, there was literally no questions. There was no undetermined comments, as there usually is, that moves the market. So, yeah, pretty vanilla, to be honest.
All right. Hey, man, I agree. One big bang there for that little wrap up. Thank you so much for watching us. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to be back here tomorrow, 8:30. Join us. We're the best show in any media, according to our chat and according to us as well. So join us tomorrow. Thanks for all the likes today, man. 3.2K means a lot. We'll see you on the flip side. Stay tuned for your trade of the day. See you guys. There we go. Fahad and Lucas and Maggie.